We're still talking about Elohim, it's Elohim. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yes. Yes. At least he knows something, I give him that much. Yeah. At least something came out. At least something came out. At least he didn't say Jesus Christ. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know. If I'm going. Well, right? I mean, because I'm
Hey, Shalom, Shalom. We the true Hebrew Israelites, according to the Bible. We come in week in and week out to prophesy the downfall and destruction of this wicked, sinful kingdom called America, aka Babylon the Great, alright, aka Egypt, aka Sodom and Gomorrah. Alright, before we get started, we'd like to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to our Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who grew well and told us this truth according to the Bible. And shalom to all the brothers out there preaching His word in all righteousness and sincerity to the elect. We say shalom.
Shalom.
All right, and we're going to start like we always do with the real children of Israel. Starting off with Judah, the so-called Negroes. Benjamin, the so-called Jamaican and West Indians. Levi, the so-called Haitians. Simeon, the so-called Dominicans. Zebulon, the so-called Guatemalan and Panamanians. Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, the so-called Cubans. Gad, the so-called North American Indian tribes. Reuben, the so-called Seminole Indian tribes. Naphtali, the so-called indigenous people from Argentina to Chile.
Right.
Asher, the so-called indigenous people from Colombia to Uruguay. And last but not least, Issachar, the so-called Mexican.
Right.
If you see yourself on this sign according to the seed line of your father, turn back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, who the war any calls God, and Jesus Christ before America is destroyed. Right above. Book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus 5 and 7. And it reads, make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Yeah, like the brother said, the Lord's getting ready to destroy America, which is aka Babylon the Great. So the Lord sent us to, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we sent forth His prophets to warn the nation of Israel. Ezekiel 3:17. Okay, don't make no tarrying because you see that the Lord is speeding up time. And so now you see things, Esau is deceiving people into thinking that things are getting back to normal. And the Lord is getting ready to turn it up even more. We're getting ready to hit the next phase in prophecy, time prophecies. That's why you don't want to tarry with His word. Right. It says, make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and put not off from day to day. Yep, I was listening to the Zaquan and the Akim down in South Carolina going into prophecies. You see Jake out there going to the beach, man, thinking everything is all hunky-dory, man, all fun. Not stopping and taking heed to the word. Okay, because they think they have, this place ain't going out no time soon. Ezekiel 12 chapters. So they think, the Lord ain't coming back no time soon. Not knowing the Lord is getting ready to speed up time even more. Because they think they can tarry with His word, but come soon, they're going to wish they would have repented, man.
Time when you think the thief ain't coming to break up in your house, that's when he comes.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
You forget to lock your doors, right?
Right,
You leave the windows open and all that, right? Thinking it's all good. That's what these people are doing spiritually right about them, man. They're leaving everything on lock. They done went back to sleep. They done went on a long vacation.
Right.
Just not knowing that a thief has been watching you the whole time. That's why the scripture say, make no tarrying to turn back to your power, you Israelites. Right. Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. I got a precept right quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 12. For man also knoweth not his time. as the fishes that are taken in the evil net, and as the birds that are caught in a snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon you.
When you least expect it, suddenly. Just like the Lord, take out the birds, they get caught in a snare or a trap. A fish get caught in a net, same way. Men and women, and child, man. Okay, so much more, you want to seek the Lord because you don't know when the Lord is going to take you out for being disobedient. You don't want to tempt the Lord, man. You see in many examples that the Lord is going forth each and every day, bringing forth judgment. Zephaniah 3 and 5. The Lord brings forth judgment every morning, and he faileth not. So you want to repent before it's too late because the Lord is not, he's not tarrying, man.
That's like the scripture just read so right. Make no tarry to turn to the Lord, for suddenly, when you least suspect it, the Lord's wrath, aka judgment, will come upon you. Same thing going in this scripture right here. The fish don't know when judgment gonna come.
That's right.
What else? The bird don't know when judgment gonna come. That gin, that trap, they don't know when they gonna get trapped up. So man don't know when he gonna get trapped up in that evil time. And in a bad day, we're living in some deadly serious time. We think a stimulus package gonna save you from what's coming. You know what I'm saying? Or an income tax check. They ain't gonna stop the wrath of the Lord from coming. The wrath of the Lord still gonna come. That's why it says make no tarry, turn back now.
That's right.
You can finish off, bro.
Yep.
They got 2 more precepts too.
This is Sirach 5 and 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh by Shai, put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh come forth.
Yeah, a wrath means extreme anger. The Lord is pissed off and angry with his sinful kingdom. And mainly the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, it's people because we have to live by a standard. The laws was given to the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. So suddenly, when you least expect it, the wrath is going to come, man.
It says, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
Perish meaning die. You're going to die when the Lord visits you. He's going to pay you back for, offending you. So, like the brother was going into, your stimulus check, your $1,400, or how much ever money you get, depending on the kids you got in your family, I think they're giving $1,400 per child or whatever. Okay, or your income tax, that's not going to save you. The scriptures say, riches profit not in the day of wrath. When you get that, when you get that money, you're still not rich in this society anyway, man. Okay, but it's not going to save you.
Verse 8 it says, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, and for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity.
Yeah, look, your riches not going to profit you, man. The Lord visits you. You can't hold up some dollars, some fiat currency to the Lord and ask the Lord to spare you, man. It don't work like that. Okay, you better seek the Lord and repent before it's too late.
That's right.
This is St. John chapter 8, verse 45. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not.
Yeah, because we tell you the truth. Am I therefore your enemy because I tell you the truth? You see regular men out here. Men that you may have grown up with, you went to college with, who you in the world with, doing wickedness with. So now you see us out here not realizing that a divine intervention is the reason why we out here, man.
Probably on the basketball court, shooting hoops, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Probably we grew up rapping together and all that. That's not what that was, just because you grew up with that man. And those, see, that was a time in the season for everything.
That's right.
It was a season for that, but now we're in a different season. See, we're in the season of warning our people, rebuking our people, correcting them with the words you have, but Shemel Rashad.
Right.
And we tell them the truth. We tell them, look, the Lord got us telling you the truth, according to the Bible. Make no turn to turn to the Lord. Then we tell you the truth that sudden destruction is gonna come upon you if you don't take heed. You don't believe nothing.
Right.
And that dude right there, he brought the bus without a mask. What's supposed to have a mask on at all times? You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. But still, the warning going out. That's all we're saying.
That's right.
I'm going to read that again. St. John 8 and 45. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. But someone can tell them a lie, they'll believe that. We teach our people the truth according to the Bible, they don't believe it.
Right.
This devil, you know what I'm saying, sleazy and 2/3 and these fake pastors and prophets tell you lies and you believe it. And that's what our people want to hear. They want to hear somebody say, man, you got a couple more years, man. The Lord ain't, you know what I'm saying, he ain't doing nothing. Me? He came to me in a dream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he told me he ain't coming back to 2050. You know what I'm saying? You got enough time to go to college, build up a stack, and build a community time. You know?
Right.
You got enough time to build your dream home. Now listen to those guys out on the corner, so don't make no turn. You ain't gotta turn back now. Call me now. You ain't gotta turn back now. Turn back after you get your career jumping the top.
Right.
You know, seek out vain things. So you tarrying, taking your sweet little time to turn back to the Lord, that's when destruction is gonna come upon you, man. All right? Don't let the weather fool you, all right?
That's right.
Don't let a bright sunny day fool you, man.
That's right.
And get you off your course, man. All right? Because destruction surely is gonna come, right?
Sure.
Go ahead, brother.
It should say, speak the truth to every neighbor.
Right.
Yeah, our neighbor are our fellow brethren, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. You know, you got Ezekiel.
Ezekiel 12.
This
is Ezekiel 12 and 22. It says, Son of man, what is this proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision filled.
Yeah, what's that proverb that the Israelites keep saying, oh, the Lord ain't coming back. The Lord ain't coming back no time soon. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and sign this NBA contract and, continue to rap.
There is no Lord.
There is no Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What y'all talking about is false. That vision is false. The prophecies is false. It's a white man's book.
Right.
Put it down.
That's what I say all the time.
Anything to try to discourage, and if you ain't built up in the spirit, you know what I'm saying, you'll fall for that.
Right. That's right.
Because it says, I got a precept right quick. Just going right back off your stage. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, go ahead.
Jacob's good for that, man. Big old King James, so-called white boy, white man.
Right.
You know? Well, he's a so-called black man.
That's right.
He was the king of the Scots, man.
That's right.
You know? It's all been proven, man. It's all been studied on, man. You know? Yeah, I ain't even want to say that, but you're right. Yeah, that's what they say, man. You know?
But they got to give an answer according to that nonsense.
That's right.
The day of judgment, though.
That's right.
I got a precept for you. This is Proverbs, because they don't believe a lie. Just read St. John 8:45. We tell them the truth. They don't believe us. Somebody tell them a lie. They believe us.
That's right.
So the MOB is Christianity. You know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping with a white woman. That white woman. That white woman. That white woman. And all this other nonsense. Yeah, man. The MOB is sin. Well, we all threw it in.
Yeah.
Because it tells us in the scriptures, Revelation, if you receive that MOB, you know what I'm saying, you can't repent from that.
Right.
But the scripture say you can repent from sin. Right. That's why the word repent means. It means turn back from transgressing the law of the Bible. If you feel remorseful, something ain't adding up.
Right.
If sin is the MOB, something ain't adding up. We threw it in.
Right.
So I want to read this. This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word.
When you go into that word simple, it means to be unwise. All right? Majority of our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Right.
So they're going to believe every word that comes out of these devils' mouth, man.
Right.
You got Israelites that can be devils, man.
Take the jab.
Take the jab, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to take it to travel.
Right.
You keep your job, you know.
If you're not gonna do it for yourself, do it for everybody else. What the hell? That don't make no sense.
Right.
If I'm gonna do something, it's gonna do it. The Lord said, "Be fully persuaded in your own mind."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you do things, you know what I'm saying, to help benefit you. Now we do this thing to help benefit the elect too.
Right.
But brothers know what I'm saying, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let somebody punch me to death. You know what I'm saying? Just to make somebody else feel good.
Right.
That
That's
don't
right.
sound right. So I'm gonna read it again. I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you got a point, and then you were making a point of them telling us to take a jab or telling their congregation to take a jab, but yet don't trust the so-called white man.
Right.
See, that's how you can tell a false prophet.
Right.
They're hypocrites.
Right.
They don't line up with the scriptures.
Right.
You know, Isaiah 8:20. You know, they don't line up with the truth, man. So the simple's gonna believe every word.
Right.
They're not gonna go back and study things.
Right. They ain't gonna research.
They gonna
That's why I said, study to show thyself approved. A man that has no reason to be ashamed. Right? I'm just roughly paraphrasing. Rightly dividing the word of truth. Meaning everything that you're reading, you're getting to understand what you're reading. You know what I mean? You're searching the scriptures for yourself.
That's right.
The apostles tell us something, we go back and research things. They break down the word, we go back and research that word. So once again, verse 15, Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word. You do your woman in the butt. You know what I'm saying? All that other nonsense, you know. Take the punch, you know.
Right.
listen to your, no, we got to use code words, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Listen to your G, you know what I'm saying? Read between the lines, and that we got to use code words. Right. That's how you know we're speaking the truth.
That's right.
Anytime we got to break down real words and change them into code words, that means we're teaching the truth, man.
Right.
You know?
Right. What's the other one? It's the Israelite party.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't no party, man. We're supposed to be born in.
Oh, yeah, they even say you can have sex on the Sabbath, remember? Yep. And all that other nonsense.
Right.
You know? The simple gonna believe that nonsense, man. But the prudent man looking well to his goal.
A wise man's gonna look well to his goings. He's gonna be studying. He's gonna be, you know, what's the word we used last week when you draw nigh? He's gonna draw nigh to the Lord. The Lord's gonna reveal secrets unto him. You know, he's gonna be in the prophecy. He's gonna be studying. He's gonna be hearkening to the men of the Lord who have answers that the Lord's dealing with. That's how he's gonna know what's coming down the pipeline. He's gonna prepare himself. He's gonna brace himself for what's coming down the pipeline.
Oh yeah, the scriptures say once a man gets his wisdom, it makes the simple wise. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It says a wise man feareth and departed from evil.
A wise man feareth and departed from evil. Why is that? Because he knows what's the word called?
He foresees the evil.
He foresees the evil, but also too is he has understanding.
Right.
He Job 28 and 28.
Right.
He has understanding, so he's gonna shoot evil. He's gonna stay away from evil as best as possible, man.
Remember saying, make no terrors to turn to the Lord? Mean to turn back, repent?
Yep.
It says, a wise man feareth at all times and departed from evil. Ain't out there committing wicked acts, going on willfully. Because he feared the Lord.
Right.
He ain't making no tarrying when it comes to seeking your high by smell transgression with everything that's going on. It says, but the fool rageth and is confident. He's confident in his folly and wickedness.
Yep.
It says it's sport for a fool to commit wicked acts, man. It's sport. He takes the light as sport. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. He takes the light in committing wicked acts. And we was bringing that scripture about pork a while back, and a woman just came out of the blue. I don't know if she came from out of the ground. You know what I'm saying? If she came from the sewer or wherever the hell she came from, she just came out of nowhere and told us, pork is good. It's good. Because she's not wise. You see? A wise man gonna depart from evil. Once he find out what's evil, according to the Bible, he's gonna depart from it.
Right.
That's it, bro.
As we say, the foolish, the simple don't even believe the laws are still in effect, man. They think the laws are done away with.
Right.
You know, because they've been hearing what their pork-eating pastors been telling them, man.
Right.
Lies. So they're gonna believe every word, and they're gonna be indulged in wickedness.
Well, shit, it might not even be the pastor. It could be their school teachers. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be their big brother, or their dad or their mom that don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say pretty much a person that perceives that a man's a prophet is going to be at his door big time.
Yeah.
Trying to get this word, trying to get the knowledge. You got something to talk about?
This is Job 28 and 28.
Yeah.
And it reads, and unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord is wisdom.
Yeah, fear in the Lord is wisdom. Now the scriptures say Proverbs 1 and 7, fear is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom. So when you fear the Lord is going to in return, he's going to give you more wisdom, man, more knowledge, more understanding. You know, which you're going to be able to apply in your life to keep you stable, man.
He's going to send you the right teachers.
Right.
He's going to give you all that. And in return, you're going to go and teach somebody what you have been learning. We brought that out not too long ago. You're going to go out there and teach what you have learned, man. Willingly, the truth. Like down the street, all that madness down there. You know what I'm saying? You got all that madness down there. Guess what they're doing? They're teaching what they have learned. Right. You see? They're teaching what they have learned. We teaching what we have learned. They continuing in what they learned. We continuing what we learned.
That's right.
We know we got the truth.
That's
right.
You know?
It says, and to depart from and to depart.
Read it from the top.
This is Job 28 and 28. It says, and unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding.
Hey, understanding goes back to knowledge. So when you come into the truth, you put away your Christmas tree, you stop celebrating Thanksgiving, all right, you stop worshiping Jesus Christ, right. Okay, you start coming into your nationality, you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. You have understanding. You depart from evil because the Lord has given you knowledge to understand what's the right thing to do, the righteous way to live. You know?
Our people have been seduced by the enemy, though. You see, right? And our people don't do no study. They don't pray. to the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And getting them away from certain things that they don't need to be taking part in. They just like, you know, what the old boy say, a swimming pool full of liquor that just died right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jake is into folly, man. No one Jake can commit wicked acts, that's all they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. The average Jake is not going to stop up here and listen. Right. He might look at the prison and he going to keep going, man. Right? But right. A man of understanding, I'm saying, is going to try to beat this guy right there. That's why he foreseeth the evil. He see we living in some deadly serious times, you know what I'm saying? The shit get ready to get real soon, come, man. The majority of these Israelites out here, they're going to be getting ate like shit, man. You know? These Israelites going to be getting ate by these different animals, or the Lord's not going to hold them guiltless, man. Right. They're not taking heed to his word, man. You know, especially summertime now, folly comes out in the summer. You know what I'm saying? Got some more to that?
Yeah, I got a precept. It's a precept of Job 28. Deuteronomy 4, verses 5 and 6. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Yeah, how did the Lord teach the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the foreign Israelites during the time of Moses? He taught his people through men. Right. Through a man, he set up a leader, which was Moses at the time.
He didn't teach them religion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 100 different denominations. Right. One day you can be a Baptist, next thing you know you can be a Pentecostal. Non-denominational. No, the Lord didn't teach you all that. Man taught you all that. Right. That's the wisdom of man, which is foolishness to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. Right. The Lord taught us laws, statutes, and commandments. Right. What to do and what not to do, right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, I'm reading it again. It says, behold, I've taught you statutes and commandments, even as Yahweh, my power, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
So the nation of Israel is supposed to have the wisdom, but our people who stopped fearing the Lord. So that's why we went into the situation we went into, and now here it is, the hopeful elect is waking up, coming back to that wisdom, because the Lord is giving us a knowledge and understanding of what to do and what not to do.
And that's right. We're starting to see it too. Because wisdom making for man's face to shine. Right. You know? These people look at the majority of our people, they're like, this, you know, that person ain't wise. So, you know what I'm saying? Facts. Selling crack rock, you know what I'm saying, on the corner, dead out in the open. You ain't wise doing that, man. You look foolish doing that. As soon as you get busted by the cops and get your head beat in, you find out how stupid you was. That's right. And how wise you weren't. These nations, they see the difference between a wise man, a prudent man, and a retard. Right. You know what I'm saying? You think they don't, man? Right. You know? They see how people are all loud mouth, you know what I'm saying? Now, you see how Jake is, man. Yep. 2/3, man. And then they see the men of the Lord when we go somewhere like restaurants or wherever we may go. Brothers carry themselves with dignity. You know what I'm saying? And we uphold each other to a standard. Wisdom is going to get you to do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Not folly. You know what I'm saying? Not nonsense, you know?
Yeah. Because, you know, like we read in Job 20 and 10, like, wisdom is to fear the Lord. The Lord told us to fear Him. Right? And what? Depart from evil is understanding. How you depart from evil is following the Lord told you. You know? That's why it says right here, I'm reading again, this is Deuteronomy 4 and 6. It says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. It's going to show that what? We fear the Lord, right? And through our actions, and that we're departing from evil. It's all through what? If we keep what the Lord told us to do. It says,
that's why these nations look at us like, yo, this is the children of the Lord. Look at them, they don't crack, the twerkers. Only thing the women of our nation know how to do is twerk nowadays. They don't do nothing else but twerk. Quitting their career jobs, they don't want to be no doctor no more. They want to be a twerker. You know what I'm saying? All in the grave area. So most definitely these nations are not looking at our people like, yo, this is a wise and understanding people. No, they're not doing that. They gonna do that soon, bro. And they was doing it at one point in time, but they're not doing that now. Right. We haven't been brought to this lower state, but now we're coming back up now. That's right. The Lord brought us low, and they ain't lifting us up. We had to really go through being put to shame, without listening and hearkening to the promise of Yahweh by Shemel Shot. Now we're going through it right about now. As an example. I got a precept soon as you finish that.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Like the brother brother's saying, we're gonna get back to that, man. So we'll start with the hopeful elect, you know, because we're getting back to fear, and through that we're gonna get more wisdom as a people, man. And again, it's gonna start with the hopeful elect, and the remaining 2/3 come back in the kingdom with wisdom, man. You know, fearing the Lord.
So they most definitely ain't saying it to a crackhead is walking down the street.
Right.
He's a wise and understanding person. No. Sure enough ain't saying it to a guy that's walking down the street with his ass crack show. Remember that dude came through years ago? Well, I can't say years ago, but when the apostle was here, Apostle Paul was here, the pants was down to his ankles, bro. This dude, I'm like, yo, just take the pants off and just walk around with your shorts on, dude. And this dude came from West Bubble, you know what I'm saying? This dude came from whoever knows, we don't know. But we can see him come from way down the street, man. Walking, you know what I'm saying, with his pants past his ankles. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's what I'm saying. He wanted some attention. So you know the nations are not going to say this is a wise weapon. Understanding people if you're acting like that. A dude coming through with his whole face tattooed up, he's not wise and he has no understanding.
That's right.
When you see some Israelites walking uprightly, pants up, you know what I'm saying? Shirt tucked in, or either shirt is out but looking presentable. Coming with the knowledge, he's not eating every abominable food up under the heavens, you know what I'm saying? He ain't walking down the street with a big ass crab leg coming out of his mouth, sucking on it, you know what I'm saying? Our people are stupid, man. So they're gonna say that to Israelites that are acting, but they ain't saying it right now at all. But so that's who they're gonna say it to.
That's right.
Israelites just walking them saying the fear of the Lord, and like they got some sense.
Right. You know that brother that man that came down that was sagging that day, he came back up here. He was the one that was like, at first I was offended by what y'all was saying, but then I started realizing, he was like, y'all delivery was kind of, you know, I'm paraphrasing. And then I brought out Galatians 4 and 16.
Was I up here?
He was up here. He had his pants up.
Right.
And he showed you that the Lord will show you the difference between, you know, how we were when we didn't fear Him, and how we are now when we fear Him.
Because though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge.
That's right. You know, so just show you the power of the Lord and the difference between an ignorant Israelite versus an Israelite has wisdom and understanding.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Because you say you want to say something right
Well,
there?
this is the spirit, because the dude that came up, they said he was like a week, a couple weeks
Okay,
before.
remember that.
Because that's what it was like, yo, this is the same dude that had his street sale. He had his pants up, had a belt on and everything. I was like, oh, snap. It was because he was cursing out Jake for being a fool and stuff. And then the Lord had him next week come up like, hey man, y'all was kind of harsh, and I was like kind of mad for a second, but then, you know, it clicked that what y'all was saying was true. Lord can do that. Right.
This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 34 and 35. Righteousness exalted a nation.
Righteousness means living the right way. The Lord gave us exactly how to live the right way. Statutes, laws, and commandments. It exalts, it lifts up a nation.
Right. That's how you put a nation on high. By being righteous, man. Right? Why do you think this nation is going down? Because it's wicked, man. This is not a righteous nation. It says righteousness exalted a nation. But when you got a wicked ruler, you know what I'm saying? Ruling the earth, of course, he's going to exalt wicked people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Of course, he's going to get the wicked people, you know what I'm saying, rule over the land, right? He's going to make them governors. He's going to put them in position of authority. But eventually, they're going to go down. Because the scripture say what again? Proverbs 14:34. Righteousness exalted a nation.
That's why the nation of Israel is never going to go down when we get the rulership come soon. Because we're going to always fear the Lord and constantly, we're going to be in perfection.
Why do you think the Lord starting off with the head apostles, the elders of great millstone, and the men on down, and the women is doing what they got to do? Why do you think they're being exalted on the earth by the Bible? Why do you think they have been given positions of authority on the earth, man? Through this righteousness, through this word, man. You know, preaching this word, man. The only thing righteous on this earth is this word. Because all our righteousness is filthy rags. But us doing, you know what I'm saying, practicing these laws to the best of our ability, the Lord is raising us up. They're exalting us, man. They're giving us a name in the earth, man. Look, and we're being known by doing the will of Yahweh, by shining them. You know? It's a beautiful thing. I'm going to read that again. Righteousness exalted a nation. But sin, transgressing of the law, is a reproach to any people.
And what does this scripture say? The wages of sin is death.
Right.
So, like the brothers wanted to, this wicked, sinful kingdom promotes wickedness.
Get reproach. Get the reproach.
This kingdom promotes wickedness. That's why it's going to be totally annihilated, totally destroyed, man.
Like no one wants to come into this place. I mean, everybody want to come in as wicked as hell, of course. You know what I'm saying? But when you reproach something, that means you don't want to get near it pretty much. You know what I'm saying? when you're transgressing the law, who the hell want to be around you? It's righteous. Trying to live a righteous life. It makes people want to get away from you. Like, we're not going to hang around gangbangers. They're transgressing the laws, you know what I'm saying? We're not hanging around drug dealers. You got the word, bro? Yeah. Bring it out.
We're reproach. So now, in the mid 14th century, a rebuke, a blame.
Right. That's why the Lord got us out here rebuking this place, yo. Because it's wicked. It promotes transgressing the laws of the Bible, man. Look, it says, but sin is a reproach to any people. That's why nobody don't want to be like Israel, because we went to hell off, and look at the condition that we're in now for going off. You see what happens when you go to hell off? See what happens when you sin, when you transgress the laws of the Bible? You end up at the bottom of the totem pole, right? You end up first one's fire, last one's higher, a reproach, a curse, a byword, no matter where we scattered at, right? Go ahead.
It says another word. It says an object of scorn, or contempt.
Hey.
It says disgrace.
Yeah. Hey, these other nations, they come and visit here, like during the UN meetings and stuff. The Arabs and everything, and they go back to their country talking shit about America, man.
Right.
You know, their women they have so much freedom. You know, they can do drugs and smoke weed. They talk pure crap about America, and they're not even living according to the Bible. But it goes to show you how awful America is, right? How wicked it is.
I think say something because in that scripture it says like.
No, man. The last part.
The
beginning. This is Proverbs 14:34. Righteousness exalted a nation.
This is righteousness exalted a nation. That's why you have the other heathen nations in the ancient world. They will pit us as their governors over the people. Because to an extent we would, govern with, a righteous authority.
Right.
And that kingdom usually, at its height, be afloat.
Right.
As soon as they started persecuting those same righteous men, that's when the kingdom started to go down. Right. Now they're picking righteousness aside from that. Just like it happened with Nebuchadnezzar and
right.
He was his right hand man. Second,
the same thing happened in Egypt.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But sin is a reproach to any people.
Taking away righteousness. So that man that is judging righteously, out of the land, and wickedness is going to flow, and the Lord's going to take that business.
You put your whole kingdom to a shame, just like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yep.
You bring the whole place to a shame. Filth, dirty, low down shame. Go ahead, Roger.
Just going to the brother's point, when Nebuchadnezzar died, his son came to rulership and didn't respect Daniel like his father did. And it went down quickly, man.
Same thing. Egypt. What happened? That Pharaoh didn't know Joseph. Didn't respect, what happened in the past. That's what that kingdom did now. So it shows you when you respect the man of righteousness, or man of righteousness is in that place. It's like the Lord's gonna have mercy on him. For example, Lot, while he was in the city, the Lord didn't destroy while Lot was still there. It was only when Lot came out of the city that the Lord destroyed that place. So when the righteousness leaves,
it's like Noah, he didn't bring the flood until Noah was safely put his head off.
That's right.
It says the king's favor is toward the wise servant. We don't wise servants. You know what I'm saying? Who's the king? Lord Yahushua, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You know what I'm saying? Since he's showing us favor. The word favor goes back to blessed. Because I bring that out all the time. You know what I'm saying? We're truly blessed right about that, man. We got this word. Tell me, brothers can contest, man, to this, man. Ain't the Lord showing you favor?
Oh, yes.
Ain't the Lord showing you favor? You favor, you. I'm most definitely, know what I'm saying? I got to scream and shout mine. I got to scream and shout for mine. You know what I'm saying?
Right
Straight up, the Lord showing me favor, man. Straight up, man.
All right, great.
You know what I'm saying? Because why? We have become wise servants through this word.
That's right.
It says wisdom maketh for man wise. You know what I'm saying? Then it starts off with the fear of the Lord.
That's right.
I'll read that again. It says the king's favor is towards a wise servant. Going right back to Nebuchadnezzar and Daniel. You know what I'm saying? Daniel was being shown enough favor. He got thrown in the lion's den and all that. But what did that do? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, the king seen that Daniel, you know what I'm saying, was the one that was telling the truth. And everything he said was right. This ain't the king threw the damn people that were trying to put Daniel in there, and they got devoured. The Lord still showed Daniel favor, had somebody feed him and everything.
It was something that the king didn't want to. His hand was forced by the people, those wicked people, his servants.
Right.
So then, and what did Nebuchadnezzar say? Surely the Lord is going to deliver Daniel. Right. He knew all the work. Like, this is a righteous man. The Lord is going to deliver him. Now he did it.
So I'm pretty sure they put it saying the same thing about the apostles, the elders of great millstone. Probably some brothers like us. Like, the Lord got me today. You know what I mean? It says, look, the king's favors toward a wise servant. That's why we read earlier. So Rock 5 and 7, make no tarry, return back to the Heavenly Father and His Son, who they equally call God and Jesus Christ, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Make no tarry, no matter what type of career you got, no matter what type of family structure you got, home, cars, money, that don't matter to the Lord. The Lord wants you to turn back and repent.
Right.
That's the only thing the Lord always wanted us to do.
That's right.
Turn and repent and stop acting like these other nations.
That's right.
You know? So what? People gonna look bad at you because you don't celebrate Christmas no more.
That's
you ain't getting bald heads, shape-ups and all that. So what?
Right.
Who are you trying to please on the face of the earth, the Lord or a man?
That's right.
We out here trying to please the Lord. Why you think we out here? This is pleasing. This is well pleasing to the Lord. What we out here doing, and it takes balls to do it. Because the majority of these people always care what somebody else say about them. So most definitely they're not gonna come out here and preach this Bible.
That's right.
Even though they walk around with a Bible the size of this right here, what that mean? You still don't understand it.
That's right.
You don't really believe in it. Because as soon as the Bible tell you to do something, you're like, that was ancient times. Nah, this is an ancient book that lasts through the test of time, and what it said back then goes for now.
That's
What are you
right.
talking about?
That's right.
That's why righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The king's favor is towards a wise servant, not a fool, not a blockhead. See, the king, the so-called white man, he's the king in this rulership right here in this kingdom. So he shows love, to the wicked.
That's right.
If you wicked, you get accolades, you get rewarded and all that. But the Lord said, I'm going to show favor, aka I'm going to bless those, that wise servant is taking heed to my word.
That's right.
It says, but his wrath, the king's wrath, is against him that causeth shame.
Yep, and those that are causing shame are those who are not following the ancient way, the righteous way.
Right.
So the wrath means extreme anger. So Lord's going to bring His judgment upon you.
Right.
If you're not following the ancient way, the righteous way, man. Which is the elders, statutes, laws, and commandments of the Bible.
That are not done away with.
That are not done away with.
That's why the Lord brought that ice storm in the Midwest, man. Froze people at the bus stops, all that, man. That was a judgment for the Lord. You take pictures of the signs or whatever now of us. That's why the Lord bringing judgment, the 8.1 earthquake, them tsunamis and all that, the volcanoes setting off, plane crashes, car crashes, gunshots, robberies, home invasions, house fires, forest fires. You get caught up in it, it's the wrath of the Lord. He's going to put you to a shame for not taking heed to His word.
That's right.
It just happened in Iceland. The brother I was listening to the BC. The brother brought it out in an article. There was 7,000 earthquakes in 2 weeks in Iceland, man. In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
7,000 earthquakes, man. So the Lord is really showing, look, if you're not going to take heed to the word, you're going to be caught up in it.
Right.
We don't want to be caught up in that, so we better get right with Yahweh by shot. As a people, I talk to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we know only the electors going to take heed to the word. I got to do something.
On YouTube, the message. Okay, you search on GMSNORTHCAROLINA24ba.
Go to YouTube.
Yep. Yeah, I'm write it down for you. You got it.
Type in Great Millstone. Great Millstone, yeah, GMS. Look, we got the 100% truth according to the Bible, bro. Watch out, you got a whole lot of Israelite groups on the streets teaching out of the Bible, but they're not all teaching the 100% truth according to the Bible. Watch out for these groups, bro, know what I'm saying? They're teaching false names and all that. Great Millstone. Right. Hopefully you're down with Great Millstone, which is just the name. We really basically service to the Lord, teaching the truth according to the Bible, really. Right. But no saying the Lord put that title on us to separate us from these other Israelite groups too. You go to a Great Millstone page, most definitely you're going to get the true proper name in the Hebrew tongue of the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and you're going to get the 100% truth according to the Bible. Nothing but facts, bro. Great Millstone. Shalom, bro. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
You later.
Look, man, just give it to them just like that, man. And look, and if you don't believe that, then look, there's a group down there. Just go stand and watch. There's a group right down there, right now. If you don't believe Great Millstone has the 100% truth according to the Bible, there's some dudes in all black right down the street saying you can do your woman in the butt, go down there. You know what I'm saying? And all kind of other men telling you to get punched to death, telling you to take the jab and all that. Go down there then. If we ain't got the truth, then go down there then.
Right.
You see where you end up at. They want your government name and everything. They want your social security number and everything. You know? We don't want all that. The Lord bring in who He want to bring in. Brothers get built up on a level, teaching. That's what we do every weekend and weekend. I barely know these brothers' first names. Of course, I know their first names, but they ain't like I'm just thinking about it every day.
It took a while too.
Sometimes I gotta ask brother, yo, bro, what's your name again? Unless I need to sing you something, you know what I'm saying? You know, things of that nature. Because we ain't dwelling on that. This is Rod, this is Kazakba, that's Nakum, I'm on Wad, and the rest of the brothers down there, you know what I'm saying? We're on our Hebrew thing, you know what I'm saying? We're on our Hebrew thing, and we worship Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
That's right.
That's the only thing we're thinking about right about them, man.
That's right.
We're truly blessed by the Lord.
That's right.
So let's go.
I gotta put can I bring mine right quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Proverbs.
He made a good point though, right? He's listening to a group, I don't know what group he's listening to.
Right.
Look, you better hope he's listening to Great Millstone.
That's right.
So I mean, it said the scripture say in the last days you're gonna have, Lord willing, if you're part of that number, you're gonna have the spirit of discernment to discern between the holy and the wicked, man. The righteous and the wicked, man. All right? Who's telling the truth and who ain't teaching the truth? You know? And you pray for that, man. You should, if you've been around, I'm saying, for at least, I'm saying, a couple of months, a year or two, you should know who's teaching the truth by them.
That's right.
You done pretty much look at every group, you know what I'm saying? This group teaching that, or this group teaching that, or this group. You should know by them, man.
That's
and
right.
You gotta pray for that, man.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
You want to say something?
Yeah, you know, you saw the Spirit had him come here.
Right.
They had him go all the way down there.
Right. Even though they was doing all that damn yelling down there, even though they down there doing all that yelling with that microphone and all that, he didn't even hear that. And the scripture say, a strange voice they won't hear. Remember, my sheep hear my voice. I must be allowed to bring it out right quick, bro. Yeah, St. John 14, right? Ain't it 14?
I believe that's what
Nah, it ain't 14. My sheep hear my voice. Let me see if I can find it. It's in the early chapters. 10. I got it. Yeah. St. John chapter 10, verse, is it 10?
Yeah, it is.
My sheep hear my voice.
It says, my sheep 10 and 27.
That's it, right? Come. Listen, you got it? Go ahead, little brother.
This is St. John 10 and 27. And it reads, it says,
Is that one of them, a stranger shall they not follow?
Don't say it.
There's another one that say that too. A stranger they would not hear, which is those other philosophies. I'm saying those other doctrines and those false
that's St.
prophets.
John 10 and 5.
10 and 5.
Yeah, 10 and 5.
oh yeah, this way. This is St. John 10 and 5.
You might
Start at 4.
Yeah, I just saw it. Verse 4. And this Lord Yahushua speaking, it says, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice.
And the Lord said, I speak through men.
Yep.
If you're hearing me, you know, if you're hearing them, you're hearing me. We're going right back to St. Luke 10 and 16. They that heareth you, heareth me. The Lord said, you know what I'm saying, Lord, they're going to hear my voice.
Right.
Go ahead and look. A man right there heard the voice of the Lord. That's why he came over. And he did everything decently in order, too. Go ahead, Rob.
If I could just say,
Nah, bro,
you made a beautiful point because I wasn't even amongst in the truth. I had just learned about it, you know, being combined with the world, and I almost joined a group close to IUIC. But the Lord had it on my spirit when I couldn't believe what they were saying. I asked them what the market abuse was, MOB was, even though I didn't 100% know, I just know it didn't sit well with me.
Right.
But then I talked to Kabad, and I heard this brother's voice. Instantly, I knew I was coming down to North Carolina. I knew it was no wavering. I just knew. So, but he's right witness.
Right.
Witness right here.
Yeah.
So I didn't even see
2 or
this.
3 witnesses. Yeah.
Right, I didn't even see this brother. Never saw him a day in my life, but I heard his voice, and I knew in my spirit that's the man of the Lord willing.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I just knew seeing men in front of me, they was bullshit. You
Right.
know? But that just goes to show.
Y'all gave it to the brother straight in the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? It was in the grocery store picking up a couple items and saying to the brother, I said, y'all question, I'm like, yo, hold on, bro. Just gave it to him simple.
Yeah.
Not to make things elaborate and all big and all that. Just gave it to him simple.
Yeah.
The brother, you know what I'm saying, he received it. Now look, the brother out here, the brother part of the camp now. For years now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. God like Malak. You have about you know?
Great.
What else you got?
Kind of got because it said right here that sheep follow him.
Yeah.
And then they know his voice. And like I know, like years back, the video I sent you of the man, an actual shepherd.
he was far off, and all he did was say, and all them sheep ran to him.
Well, first, you know what I'm saying, before he did that, he had all them other people doing what he did. They studied his calling or whatever, and they were trying to do it, the sheep was like, man, he's eating. That's how you know that dude came out there and did it one time. That's how you know the sheep they stopped eating, they ran up to that dude.
That's right.
They know his voice.
That's right. That's right. It says, let me read verse 5, it says, and a stranger will they not follow.
Yeah, T.D. Jakes, Snakes, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all these false prophets, they got voices, but they're considered strangers. Meaning what? They're teaching false doctrine. They're teaching Allah, Buddha, and all this other nonsense. The Lord like, yo, my sheep ain't following that nonsense.
That's right.
And if they was part of that nonsense, I'm bringing them up out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because who was following nonsense before we came into this truth? But now we're not, though.
That's right.
Because the Lord said, ain't nobody gonna pluck you out of my hand anyway. Now jump down, bro, to jump down to 27.
When we finish at 5?
Yeah.
It says, finishing 5, it says, but I will flee from him. But will flee from him. Let me read that from top.
Yeah.
Says, and a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him. For they know not the voice of the stranger.
That's what the Lord had us do. We fled away from other philosophies and doctrine.
That's right.
They came back to the truth. The Lord brought us back to the truth. Where his voice was the apostles and elders of great millstone.
That's right.
And we knew instantly that was the truth. We knew it was something up with it, man.
Right.
We was locked, we was glued, man. You know?
That's right.
And we might have started off watching IUIC. You know what I'm saying? We might have started off watching HODC. You know what I'm saying? ISUPK. But then eventually, you know what I'm saying, the Lord brought us in through them, hearing that we Israelites, right? You know what I'm saying? And then the Lord is a so-called black man and things of that nature, right? But then, you know what I'm saying, there's levels to this thing, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
When the Lord wanted to bring us on a true level, you know what I'm saying, took us to the apostles, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And we've been going hard ever since, right? You know, ain't no stopping us, nothing in the spirit. Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump to verse 27.
You got a question?
Not just looking, man.
All right, you an Israelite. You and your family are Israelites. Repent before it's too late.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
You want to get some understanding? Okay.
I'm trying to.
Okay. Listen in. You know, we'll break down some stuff for you.
That'll work.
It says, let me read verse 27. It says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
That's the hope for that man. The nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also the Israelites. They're going to hear the voice of the Lord, and they're going to come into the fold. You want to know what kind of, the Bible is King James Version, 6 and 11, which includes the Apocrypha, which is taken out, but this is part of the Bible.
Yeah, the Bible pretty much goes into like the history of how the native and the Latins got over to this country. And the so-called dark tribes, like right here, you see Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That's the southern kingdom. Ephraim, all the way down to Issachar, the so-called Mexicans and the so-called Puerto Ricans. Because you know those names right here, these names right here are bywords that the so-called white man put on all our people. Like it ain't no such thing as a Puerto Rican. The word Puerto Rican just means rich port. You know what I'm saying? Which when they went over there and conquered that land, when they got over there, they seen all the riches. So they say, oh yeah, this is a rich port. So all these names like Negro, that just mean black. Ain't nobody black on the face of the earth. All the way down, like what is it, West Indian. West Indian is a direction. And the word Indian means savage. So a savage from the West. So all those names that was put upon us was pretty much a curse from the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, for us not taking heed to the law, statutes, commandments of the Bible. Like how people love pork, they worship idols. You got the sign of the idols. Anybody got that sign of the idols? Bring it over here, bro. Give me Psalms 96 right there. You got a precept song?
Yeah, I got one song.
Like these are the gods, you know what I'm saying, that our people worship, which are the gods of the nations. Like our people worship Allah, Buddha, Santa Maria, the Hindu goddess Shiva, the so-called white Jesus Christ. The Lord never looked like that. Jesus Christos no Blanco. Blanco El Diablo. Never come to save us, man. They're trying to make our people take that jab, which is the vaccine. You know that ain't no good. Ain't nothing wrong with the air, man. They got everybody walking around with masks, but that's because he's ruling right about now. The God of the Bible gave this devil the rulership of the earth for us going off. So we the chosen people of the earth. Give me one precept right quick. Give me Psalms right quick. Give me Psalms 147. Yeah, because the Bible is our book. This Bible belongs to nobody but the people that you see on that sign right there. And on top of that, you have our people scattered. You got Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Like say like if I meet a Chinese woman and I have a baby by her, the baby might come out looking like her, a Chinese person, but it's still my baby because man carry the seed. So your kids are whatever you are, not the woman. The woman is pretty much like the earth. You can plant an apple tree in any part of the earth, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna come out being an apple tree. So making a long story short, whatever the baby is, whatever the man is, that's what the baby is. So we went off and now we worshiping these idols. So our job out here is to tell our people that you see on the sign is to turn back to who they even call God and Jesus Christ. Which this is, we're not saying he's this simp, but this is a depiction of what he looks like according to the Bible. Not that right there. You see? That's the picture that everybody got tattooed on themselves. It's in their homes, it's in their cars. Our people worship that image right there, and they're gonna be held accountable. That dude right there lived, you know what I'm saying, in the late 1300s, early 1400s, Cesare Borgia. That's why our people worship as an idol, man, as God, as the Son of God. And that's all the information about it. Read that right quick.
Yep. Psalm 147 and 19.
And I'm gonna let you read it.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Right, Jacob's name was changed to Israel. So this is the Heavenly Father speaking to his people, the Israelites, the people that you see on this sign. What did it say again, bro?
Psalm 147 and 19.
And everything that we say, we're going to back it up with the scripture according to the Bible. But we ain't going to speak our words, we're going to speak the words of the Bible. Go ahead.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Right, the God of the Bible said, I show my word unto Jacob. These people on the sign, Israel. Go ahead.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Which we just read earlier, the brother brought out a scripture. The Lord taught us laws, statutes, and judgments according to the Bible. And we're supposed to follow them to the best of our ability. Go ahead.
Verse 20. He have not dealt so with any nation.
So when it comes to the words of the Bible, the God of the Bible just said, I show my word unto these people, no other nation. The Chinese person has nothing to do with this Bible. The Arab, nothing to do with this Bible. The so-called white man, nothing to do with this Bible. Who else? The East Indian, the dot-head East Indian. Who else?
So-called Africans.
Oh yeah, the so-called Africans, because we're not African. We're Israelites. They put that stigma on us, man. We're not African. We're the greatest people on the face of the earth. Why do you think the so-called Negro, and Latino, and Native American do everything the best? We're on the bottom right about now, but we do everything the best. Look how y'all build these buildings on the construction sites. Nobody else ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Music, baseball, boxing. That's us all day. What else?
Soccer.
Soccer, you know what I'm saying? That's the Israelites, because we're the greatest people on the face of the earth, even though we're down on the bottom, and the Lord left examples of that just to let us know who we are. And not just those things clicking, arithmetic. Oh yeah, we created everything. We created the stoplight. But we in slavery right about now, so the slave master take credit for everything that we do. Why you think y'all being persecuted for coming over here to America when the Americas was the land that the God of heaven gave y'all? You know what I'm saying? This was y'all land first, and then the conquistadors and the Spaniards came over and stole this land. That's why y'all speaking Spanish and we speaking English. It's a divide and conquer type thing. And what did he say again, bro? That last part?
Psalm 147 and 20. He have not dealt so with any nation.
Right. Go ahead.
As for his judgments, they have not known them.
That's why whenever we break the laws of the Bible, we get judged. Like when we name some things,
high blood pressure.
Right.
We eat certain foods.
Right.
These other nations, they eat pork all day. When we start eating pork and all these different unlawful foods, we get judged faster.
Right.
I have friends who were from the tribe of Issachar, so-called Mexicans, who died by heart attacks, man, for eating pork. You know, so we get judged faster because we are held to accountability for which the Lord dealing with us. He chose us as special people.
Like you see how people walking around the street, someone hands up, don't shoot. Like the Morenos getting shot by the police and all that. That's according to the Bible. All that is happening because we didn't take heed to the words of the Bible. You got something?
I got
yeah, bring some of them curses out right there.
I'm gonna start.
And it's going to continue to happen. It's how people turn back. It's going to continue to happen. Go ahead.
I'm going to start 37.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Deuteronomy.
Matter of fact, I get it for you. We will be started.
37, because you went into how we're known. Like the brother was saying, we're known as these names. These are our slave names, but these are our true Hebrew names according to the Bible. And but this is a curse as to why we're being referred to as Mexican, Negro and all that. We're gonna prove that according to the Bible.
Right, because you ask the majority of our people what these bywords mean, they can't tell you. Like if we ask the average person on the sign that's calling themselves Puerto Rican, we ask them what the word Puerto Rican means, they can't tell you. But you've been calling yourself that for years. If I'm gonna call myself something, I'm gonna know what I'm calling myself, you know? Just like, you know what I'm saying, with say like Mexicano. What the word Mexicano mean? Can anybody tell you? See, if you can't tell yourself what that means, then you need to find out what you're really supposed to be getting called. See, Issachar, we can tell you what Issachar means. We can tell you what Judah means, Benjamin, Levi. Because those are the biblical names. You're going to find these names in the Bible. You're not going to find these names in the Bible. Haitian. What does Haitian mean, bro? It's people. Death, you know what I'm saying? They put that name on our people, man. Death. Haitian means death, man. So we're people of life, not of death. What are you doing, bro?
You can start at 37 and then you can jump around.
Yeah. I'm going to start at 15.
Okay, come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. And it shall come to pass, and thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and statutes, which I command thee this day.
So the Lord is using Moses as a leader to speak to the nation of Israel. To tell the nation of Israel, if you keep the laws, this is what will take place. But if you don't keep the laws, this is what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, then another point, you know what I'm saying, just like, what is it, South America, where they got the pyramids and all that?
Oh yeah, yep.
Where is that at?
It's in Mexico.
It's in Mexico, right? The pyramids in Mexico? Now, think about that now. You got pyramids in Mexico, and then you got pyramids in Egypt. Only two places. So how did this so-called Mexicans figure out how to build the pyramids if they had never been in Egypt? It's the same people. Get the apocrypha. Get the apocrypha right quick on how the Latins and the natives came over to this land. Because before y'all came over to this land, we was living in Israel. You know what I'm saying? Jerusalem, that's our homeland according to the Bible. You know? We migrated over there. Well, y'all came over here first, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get away from the Assyrian captivity. When we went into captivity, the so-called Negroes, Jamaicans, and Haitians, we went into captivity up into the Babylonians. You heard of Babylon before, right? We was in there in captivity. See, y'all went into captivity up there in the Assyrians. And when y'all fled from the Assyrians, y'all came over here and were scattered throughout the Americas. One more point. Go ahead. Y'all got it? We'll just prove according to the Bible how y'all came over here. I get it if you want me to do it. You can't find it. Yeah, I knew it. You said Baruch? Speaker, Rob.
Yeah, so I'm going to bring out this precept going into Deuteronomy, one of the curses that's affecting us to this day that's evident. So the way you know that who are the children of Israel is based off the curses that was applied to Israel for being wicked and not keeping the laws, not obeying the Lord. And here's one of them. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. So byword we're referred to as what? The Latinos, the Negroes, okay, who are the West Indians. These are all bywords. And that is that's a curse because we're not referred to as our royal name. You know, the names you see on the left side are our royal names, depending on what tribe you live in. So now we're being referred to as these bywords, and that shows one of the curses of who the Israelites are. I got another one. You got something? Something we're looking for. You're Israelite, repent, bro. Deuteronomy 28 and
just keep going through the curse.
Yep. Deuteronomy 28 and 60. It says, moreover, he will bring upon thee.
Get 50. Get 49.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring 48.
Yep.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send thee.
Hey, bro. Try 13.
Against thee in hunger.
I think it's 13.
And in thirst, and in nakedness, and in the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Another sign that we are the Israelites, because what other nation went into slavery and was carted over in slave ships, brought over to a foreign land, put in yokes of iron? What other nation? Only the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans had yokes of iron. If you Google it, you'll see. The Latin tribes went into slavery too. They were carted over in slave ships and put yokes of iron. They were the first. They were the first. You know, so that's a sign.
I got it.
Got it?
Whenever you finish speaking of it.
It says, and in the want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So now we have to go to our enemy in the want of all things.
You know that picture, you know, with the natives and so-called Negroes on the
oh yeah,
upon their necks?
Yeah. I don't have it to say.
Just a still frame of just showing those both tribes. Look us up about that.
But I gotta go.
Okay.
They're waiting.
Okay.
All right, Israelite, bro. Turn back to the Lord, man. We brothers, man. Amigos.
Bless you. Have a good one.
You too, bro.
Right?
At least take care, you know what I'm saying, trying to take heed.
That's
He
right.
got to go and handle his business, whatever. The family
That's
probably
right.
waiting on him, whatever. But look, the Lord, you know what I'm saying, look, the Lord, we did our part.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We did our part.
Yeah, you did, man. You did a good job.
You know, we did our part, so let's move on.
Stay down.
Whatever you ask us about just dropping, you know what I'm saying, we're just going to move on, keep it rolling. Anybody come up with something, you know what I'm saying, we just, look, I got this for us, though. And then we just go back into the spirit, because we're full.
Yeah.
This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word in my mouth and give them warning from me.
That's exactly what we're doing, man. We're doing now. Our spirit out outside. We're doing our job, like the brother said. You know, we're warning our people of what's about to take place. But let them know that they're Israelites.
That's right.
And that this is personal. That they should realize this message is for them.
Right.
Okay, and that you need to repent before it's too late, because the Lord's ready to come back. And he's not coming back for Negroes that tell Native Americans. He's coming back for the elected nation of Israel.
That's
I
right.
had all kind of scriptures I was holding too. I can't even remember them all.
I know one of them was he was reading St. John.
Did we ever finish that off? Yeah, finish that off, bro. About my sheep hear my voice.
And John, right?
Yeah.
John 10.
Yep. I think he was at verse 27.
Yep. This is John 10, St. John. Yeah, this is St. John 10.
He read it already.
20.
He read 5, jump to 27.
And it reads, this is Lord Yahweh Shai speaking, verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
Yeah, the Lord knows using the sheep. You can't pluck them out of his hand either.
Right.
You know, and that's the elect. You know, we pray we're part of that number. You know, so the Lord's going to hear the sheep coming to him when he calls. You know?
It says, verse 28, and I give unto them eternal life, there shall never be, and it's like they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
Oh, there you go. It's the spirit. You're not going to pluck the elect out of the Lord's hand. You know, that's the gift from the Heavenly Father to the only begotten Son, man. The elect. You know, and they're going to hear the voice, and these times they're going to wake up. That's why the four winds are being held by the four angels, specifically for the elect, man.
Right.
As they're hearing the voice of the Lord, they're coming into the fold.
I think so in the spirit, because it's beautiful, as you just seen now, the Lord, in the spirit of the Lord God's out here to catch it all on camera.
Yeah.
Because what? Years before, you didn't have the so-called Latin tribes coming up and really listening. They would walk straight past.
Right.
And not say anything.
I ain't staying for a while because the rest is remember it was like 5 of them came, or 6 of them came up, and next thing you know, it was just him and his youngest daughter, still there just standing. All the rest of them there walked on down the street already. Because it was meant for him to get.
That's right.
It's really meant for the man to get his word, you know what I'm saying? The Lord's looking for his men right about now.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So you got some women that believe, and they're going to do their part, but this word is really for the men of the nation of Israel. You see?
Right.
You know, it always starts off with the man.
It does.
Because who knows, like, the spirit, us knowing that can, you know, it's like us hearing the word, it sparks something in us. Same thing with him, he's like, he goes on it at night, and let me look more into it.
Right.
Next thing you know it, this man is converted, man. The spirit, man. Like, you know, you come out like,
They were showing them humble.
right. And you know, so I was gonna say to him in the spirit, because I know, so we was talking about Moses, and the scriptures how Moses teaching how a leader of the nation of Israel was teaching my people. I was thinking if he was a so-called Israelite, I know a bunch of Israelites actually, when they actually have that name. The name Moses bestowed upon them. That's another thing that our people naturally name.
Yep. And Joseph too.
Yeah. Our people naturally name their children after people of the Bible, because what? It's our heritage. At the end of the day, our spirit jives with this word.
I got a precept. Because I mentioned this word is for the men. They gave the elect of the nation of Israel.
Great.
We're part of that hopeful number. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. I started 15. But the righteous live evermore. Remember, you believe in the Lord, you follow the Lord, you shall inherit everlasting life.
That's right.
You just read that, right?
That's right.
On my hearing thing.
That's right.
You read it or not?
That's right.
You know, it says, but the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord. Because ain't nobody going to pluck them out of his hand, right?
That's right.
It says, and the care of them is with the Most High.
Right.
Be careful as elect.
You got it.
I knew you
got
were going to say that, what you bro?
You got it. Yep.
Be careful as elect, you know? And the rewards the Lord got laid up for the elect, it's not going to perish, it's not going to rust and moth, it's not going to corrupt it, man. Great, you know?
Right.
Look at the Lord with his servants having an everlasting name in the scriptures. And it's still to this day. You know, you can't corrupt that. The Lord, to this day, no matter what country you go to, if you read whatever their name is, going to be King David, there's going to be Moses, there's going to be Samuel, you know, these ancient men, okay? And of course, you know, Lord Yahweh Shai, you know, there's going to be, they're going to know these names because it's written in the scriptures, man.
Everybody heard that name Joseph.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Daniel and all that. You know what I mean? Everybody heard of Jeremiah. You know what I'm saying? Ezekiel. That's right. Them names, man, them elect names, man. They're being called something else to them. Because remember, in them different captivities, they was in different lands. In them different lands, they were speaking different languages. You know? Just like in the Assyrian Empire. They was giving Assyrian names. Just like in Babylon, they was giving Babylonian names, right? Now in America, the prophets are in America now. They're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. They've been giving American names right about them. But then you check out those American names and you look up the meaning of those American names. I'm saying those names are spiritual names. You know what I'm saying? Like when I looked up my name, I'm saying the meaning of my name and shit, it went back to warrior. You know what I'm saying? Gabar. You know what I'm saying? Those are just one of the names. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the word Gabar means warrior. You know what I'm saying? But I end up getting Gawad, you know what I'm saying? You know, which is honorable. You know what I'm saying?
Is it a word?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. Honorable warrior. You know what I'm saying? You know, through the spirit. And plus, you know what I'm saying? Like all y'all names, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother Ara, you know what I'm saying? His name goes Leon, you know what I'm saying? That goes back to Ara, Lion, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. This brother did. All our names are spiritual, even though it was so-called American names. It all went back to something spiritual. You good? So I'm going to read on. Therefore, shall they receive the elect of the nation of Israel. Lord, want to be part of that number. Therefore, shall they receive a glorious kingdom.
A glorious kingdom, man. Where dwelleth righteousness, perfection, man.
They're going to be like this.
Right.
This is not a glorious kingdom.
Right.
You know, this is the Heavenly Father speaking, man. He said to the elect of the nation of Israel, they're going to receive a glorious kingdom. Look, we got, man. We got all kind of people on our side, man. This is the Lord, man. All right? You want to leave? Leave! You know what I'm saying? Leave and see where you end up at, man. This is the best place to be.
Best place.
Come on, man. We got help from high places, man.
That's right.
Lord knows, come on, man. We got connections, man. Lord got us connected out here, man.
That's right.
Straight up, man.
Believe it.
You know, it says, therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hands. That's right. The elect men of the nation of Israel, the 144,000, the prophets, man. They're going to receive crowns.
That's right.
And that 1/3, they're going to be entered into the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're going to have abundance, infinite wealth, things of that nature. But the prophets, the 144,000 elect men, the prophets, are going to receive crowns upon their heads from who they even call God and Jesus Christ. What up, bro? Everything good? Yeah. Long time no see, bro. Growing up, the brother growing up on me. My cousin over there, you know what I'm saying? Everything good, bro? Yeah. It's good to see you, bro. Just started teaching the Bible, man, teaching our people who they are according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Telling our people to come back. See those names that been put under those bywords, but not we find out, but not those people. You know what I'm saying? We're the people of the Bible, so come back, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't look what they tell us, bro. Come back home. You know what I'm saying? Come back home, because this is the best place to be, man. The Lord has been taking care of us. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing. So I'm gonna read on. It says, therefore, this is a beautiful story right here. To receive a crown from the Lord's hand. You can't beat that, right? No college education. No stimulus check. What about a tax return? You know what I'm saying? You know, what about some plaques on the wall? A beautiful woman. That can't compare to the Lord putting a crown on your head.
Right. If I could just say, the crown is the highest gift you can receive.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Right, it's an honor, right? It says, therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown. Oh yeah, the kingdom gonna be paved with gold streets, emeralds. You know what I'm saying? Flowing water, beautiful waters, things of that nature, and anything y'all can add.
Pure. Everything is pure.
Right. Oh yeah, fresh food. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, rest.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
No
right. You can't beat that, bro.
That's right.
Oh yeah, servants. We Man, service soon come, man. We done
Sounds
found out. Look, man, it's gonna be beautiful soon come.
yeah.
So we had to go through this hell first, though.
yeah.
We found out what's the real deal. What's the reason behind all this? You know what I mean?
Right.
So we went off. It said you turn back, though. You're gonna do what? You're gonna receive a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand.
Right.
For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them.
And who's the right hand? Yahweh shot.
Right.
You know, he's gonna protect his elect, man, his chosen elect. You know, and we pray we're part of that number. You know, that's why we're gonna continue on the path of righteousness until the end, Lord willing, man.
Right.
You know, but the Lord's gonna protect those that who have faith and trust in him. You know?
This is
Tell everybody, say what's up, bro. Peace.
it says this is Psalms 37 and 9. It says, for evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh shall inherit the earth.
So the evildoers are the people in this world, starting with Esau and his wicked kingdom, the nations that latch on with him in 2/3 the next years.
That's right.
They're gonna be cut off. But what's the other one, bro?
It says, but those that wait upon Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, shall inherit the earth.
Yep, shall inherit the earth, man.
The Lord got everybody getting a dose of this truth today. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite little cousins right there. They grew up on me, you know what I'm saying? He didn't grow up on me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We had seen him. He was like about 11 last time I seen him. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm pretty sure he's like at least 21 now. It's been like 10 years since I seen him, bro. You know what I'm saying? I recognize that face though.
Right.
You know. Growing up, look, it's that time.
That's right.
It's that time, man. Look, that's what we bring it. Look, my sheep gonna hear my voice.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord making moves, man.
That's right.
He's just talking like I don't know what dead in our mouth. You know what I'm saying? Dead in my mouth. I need to close my mouth or something. You know what I'm saying? Man. They're probably looking way back here. You know what I'm saying? The world, man. Right. Go ahead, though, brother.
I got verse 10. It says, for yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yet thou diligently consider his place, and shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and they shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
Yep. Peace and rest, quiet, and wait a little while. You know,
Right.
yeah, we in the flesh. It seems like a long time, but man, it's worth the wait. You know, and like the brother always going through, we get the kingdom. We be like, man, that wasn't that what we went through, man.
Right.
You know, all this is a token of us, continuing on, Lord willing, we endure, man.
So we're starting to really realize what it feels like to be on this side, man. Straight up, man. Every weekend, every day to go past, and you come out and you're able to be on this side. You know what I'm saying? Or you just standing right here with these brothers at.
Right.
So, man, that's a blessing from the Lord, man.
That's a blessing,
Because you
man.
could be outside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You could be outside. What is it? Outside the temple, perverse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could be perverse. You know what I'm saying? Meaning outside the temple. You know? The Lord got us inside the temple where it's protection at.
Right.
Anything that was inside the temple was protected. Anything outside the temple won't protect it, man.
That's
The
right.
Lord got us inside the temple right now, man.
That's right.
Where's the altar at?
Right.
Inside the
Right, that's right. And this is the altar right here.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
This is the altar right here, man. And Lord willing, our sacrifice is being received.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? This is
That's
a sacrifice right here.
That's
Coming
right.
out week in and week out. Y'all sacrificing y'all time too.
That's right.
Y'all making y'all bodies a living sacrifice week in and week out.
That's right, brother.
Y'all brothers been coming out here faithfully, man.
Right.
Yeah.
For a while now.
Right.
Look at a dog, don't even want his own home. You know what I'm saying? Well, his foot tied up the wrong way anyway. She can't really see it. A dog like, yo, you about to break my damn foot. I tied my foot. You got my foot the wrong way. That's a messed up with you. Yeah. I don't know, at least you'll better. I want to go back across the street. Something over there. But anyway, go ahead, Kasabba.
I got another one.
I got one before you read that. This St. Matthew, we're just going to lay on back and keep feeding on rock. Just and tell us what you want on rock. This is St. Matthew 24. I'm gonna read 6. I'm gonna read a couple of verses, and I'm gonna jump down to the point I want to get to. I want to read this right quick. St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass.
These are the end time prophecies. These are the signs that Lord Yahweh was given to the 12 disciples, man, that inquired about it. You're going to hear wars, which we've been hearing about, okay, tensions between America and just about every other kingdom, you know, China, Iran, Russia, North Korea, okay, and vice versa. You're going to hear commotions, civil unrest, rumors of war, okay? It's all prophecy that must come to pass.
Right.
Another one is what? This
we're seeing what people shall be willing.
Right.
In the day of thy power. So look, the Lord is coming with his power real soon. We see more of our people getting right, trying to get right with the Lord. Like, yo, how do I get down? Like, how do I get down with the Lord? How do I be saved? You know, what's the name of the Lord?
Right.
How, you know, how do I inquire? How do I get myself right?
Right.
That was a prophecy too. During the end time. Along with those at the brothers and
How can a man cleanse his way? By taking heed to the word. It tells you that, Psalm 119:9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed to the word. And that's what we out here to tell our people. Take heed to this word. This is the only thing that's going. Ain't nothing else going on the face of this. This is the only thing going right about now. If you can't realize that, we don't know what to tell you, man. Look, we can't make it no plainer, man. You know? This is the only thing going, man. Period. Period. Not just now, but period, man. Ain't nothing else out there, man. We done tried it all, man. We done done that, man.
That's
We're
right.
speaking from experience, man. We know this is the only thing that lifting us up right about now. And plus, this is the only thing that comforts me, man. You know what I'm saying? I done been in the world, man. Now I'm out of the world. This is the only thing that comforts me, man.
That's right.
When I was in the world, the things that I was into didn't even comfort me, man. There was still something missing. You know what I'm saying? But now that void is filled now, man, with this word, right?
That's right.
And we'll read on, though. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines.
Yeah, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, World War III, civil unrest, sedition among men. You know, we're in perilous times. There's going to be more corruption, more stealings, more robberies, more homicides. You know, these are the signs, man, that must come to pass. Why do you how much y'all shine? Because we need these things to come to pass in order for us to get the kingdom.
And then the Lord, I read in that Wisdom of Solomon, the Lord said, with all these things coming to pass, I'm going to still have you covered. I'm going to still have you protected. You see? You got to look, come on in. He said, come on in my house. I'm saying that the party, not the party, but the marriage may be for pretty much filled. You know what I'm saying? Remember he said, go out and get those, get those services, you know what I'm saying, and bring them on in. What is it? And it's one in Luke 2. It's one in Luke 2. He said, my house may be filled. That the house is being filled up now, man. With the service of the Lord. Getting ready for that great marriage, man. That's why we got to come out here and teach this word, man. Regardless of people here for a bad, man. Like the brother Rock quoted, in the day of thy power, thy people shall be willing. You know what I'm saying? We got the greatest power on the face of the earth, but people don't see that. You know what I'm saying? But when the Lord gives us the carnal powers, you know what I'm saying? The carnal powers, then these people don't want to get down. Because see, this is the greatest power on the face of the earth right about now, which is his word. But people don't look at this word as being nothing. But we do. That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why when King Solomon, you know what I'm saying, he was dreaming, he prayed for more knowledge, the Lord gave him the knowledge, and he gave him everything else after that. See, we got the knowledge right about now, people don't look at it as being nothing. And as soon as the Lord gives us everything, like he gave Solomon, part of the riches, the castles, so forth and so on, they're gonna be, even on this side, man, the Lord gonna show us a way out of how to get out of different dangers and things of that nature. Our people gonna be wanting to follow in, you know? But the Lord, like, yo, bless the man that haven't seen them and yet believe. You know? Yeah, go ahead, brother.
The definition of signs is what we believe the signs, right? Signs of the times. It says a meaning, it says a mark or device having some special importance.
Yep, and look, it's a song that goes off, I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. Hey, the elect is going to see the signs. That's right. Eyes, and Lord's going to give the spirit to understand. They're going to come to the teachers and get the understanding.
That's right.
You know?
Now it says some more definitions. It says sign is a verb. It says to make the sign of, it says to mark out, to designate, to make a stamp or distinction. Alright? So what? It says to make a distinction. To signify. Right. So what? The Lord has given us the understanding of the signs. So what? Now we can distinguish what time that we're living in. And we're living in the last seconds of last days. You know?
That's why the Lord came right back, not trying to cut you off, that's why the Lord came right back and said in Matthew, the 16th chapter, said they can discern the signs as far as if it's going to rain or not. But they can discern, you know what I'm saying, if it's going to be a Sunday day or not. So why is it that you can discern that, but you can't discern what times you're living in? And like you said, the Lord gave us the spirit of discernment to discern what times we're living in, man. And a whole lot of Israelites can't understand that, man. We actually know what time it is, man. You can't beat that. You got to thank the Lord for that, man.
That's right.
what's that scripture said? The Lord is not to give them no sign but the sign of
Jonas.
Jonas.
Yeah.
Matthew 16:1.
I say,
So,
because that's what this definition goes to. It says a sign. It says what? A public display of a message.
hey, look, a public display of a message. Hey, this is a public display, and then we give you a message. That's a sign.
That's right.
That's a sign for the Lord right there. That's why the Lord said you can't discern what time you living in.
Right.
You know? A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hide for himself, right?
Right.
That's right.
So I'm gonna read down. It says, in famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places.
Famine, lack of food, shortage of water and food, man. Okay, all that's going to happen and increase more. It's happening now, but again, it's going to turn up even more where it's going to affect each individual, and the elect is going to be protected out of it. The Lord said He's going to feed the elect in a time of famine. We got diseases at all-time high. That's going to increase, and diseases are increasing from those jabs, man. People get jabbed in the right arm and dying from, whatever, passing out, fainting, getting diseases.
Remember the Lord said, for wickedness has exceeded the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore will I hold my tongue no more.
That's right.
Concerning your wickedness. So the Lord got His men out speaking His word, man. Not holding their tongue anymore. It's the Lord, man. It's the Lord speaking through us, condemning this place, man. All right? Telling you that it's going to be a famine, it's going to be wars, earthquakes, all that, man. All that, man. Poverty, homelessness. Shootings and all that, man. Evils, man. Evils. Something serious. It says, I'm going to read on, though. It says, 12. And because iniquity shall abound, St. Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Yeah, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, you can see somebody get shot, killed, cold-blooded, man, laid out. And what are people going to do? They're going to pull out their phone.
Right.
All right, that's a mental illness. That means...
And they ain't pull out their phone to call 911.
Not call get the water, bro. To record, put it on social media, to get likes, to get followers, and go live, man. At the water, bro.
Right.
But back when we were growing up, man, the neighborhood was still like a community. So like, people looked out for one another. An elderly lady was...
Somebody hurry up and put out their phone, call 911, right?
Yeah.
All of that, right?
That's why we in the time, man, the people are becoming cold-hearted, man.
I got this quick thing right there. This is something I sent to the book of Wow. This is there's a little thing, and it says this is data tracked from December 14th to February 9th. So from December 14th of 2020 to now February 2021, like 19th. It says what? The CDC.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come, right? Right. You know what I'm saying? Said the evil, right? Right. Because iniquity shall abound and love of men shall wax cold. Somebody done wax cold. You know what I'm saying? Somebody done wax cold. You know what I'm saying? The ambulance ain't going by. So you got something going?
Yeah. This is they say this is breaking news, right, from the CDC. And this is data that they track from December 14th, 2020 to February 19th, 2021. It says, from the Pfizer vaccine, right? All right. It says 86 died immediately. 129 died 1 day after. 97 died 2 days after. 61 died 3 days after. 514 died a week later. 173 died between 7 to 14 days later. And 106 died between 14 and 20 days later.
Never trust our enemies, man. Pestilence are people man. They get punched to death in the water, bro. The word punch, they get punched to death, man.
It says a total for a total of 966 deaths.
That's a lot. Now, where's the media coverage on that? Which Esau's not going to show that, okay? But he's showing made up numbers of people dying. From hold the piece. People from dying. From having so-called, the Rona, man.
Right. Right. So that's pretty much it over there. So let's go back. St. Matthew 24. And 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Yep, the love of many shall wax cold. You know, there used to be, you love your neighbor, you look out for your neighbor. Now, you get killed by your neighbor for shoveling snow in the yard.
Right.
What happened to just beating that person's ass? Yeah? You got to kill that person?
Whatever happened to no, there ain't nothing but snow.
It ain't nothing but snow. I know it's in the middle.
Yeah, well, man, the only thing he's doing, he ain't throwing it dead directly in my driveway. He's just throwing it in my yard. That was an ongoing hatred right there. You ain't killed a man because he was throwing. You didn't kill that man and his wife because they was throwing snow in your yard. You killed them because of ongoing hatred. The love of many had already started waxing cold. So just rolled out. But the Lord said, I'm gonna protect my men from all that. I'm gonna protect the hopeful elect. You know what I'm saying? Men, women, and children, friends of the prophets. You know what I'm saying? People that brought in water, helps, things of that. Women, you know what I'm saying? They was probably making garments and things of that, maybe sending up prayers and all that. You know what I mean? The Lord said, I'm gonna protect them. He says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness to all nations, and then shall the end come.
Another sign. This gospel is going to be preached across the whole earth. Gospel means good news. So the kingdom is coming. That's good news, man. You know, for the nation of Israel, and it's going to really start with the elect. So, and then the end shall come, and it enters man's rulership. Now, everybody knows who the Israelites are. Everybody knows, it has been hearing the gospel, whether they accept it or not, which shows that we're so close to the Lord, coming back soon.
Now we're just waiting for what? Hit up martial law at its highest point. Because it's over there in these other countries. Look at down there in Venezuela and the whole Central America, man. Troops is storming the streets. I just watched a video of a dude reporting, as he dude or a woman reporting, all you hear is women screaming in the background crying, and then gunshots is going off. Yeah, because the soldiers is going rogue.
Yes.
You know? So that's the time, that's going down there. So it's going to come up here. Let's believe it's going to be worse here in America, man.
That's why the Lord telling our people to repent, turn back, and then got us out here warning our people.
That's right.
We'll jump down. Verse 21, St. Matthew chapter 21, 24, so like it. Verse 21, for there shall be great tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world to this time. We just started the times, right? No, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be short, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be short.
So that's Jacob's trouble, man. Tribulation is going to come on the face of the earth that has never taken place. Brother read about wars, rumors of wars, famine, pestilences, evil times, earthquakes in diverse places. All that's going to increase. To a time that's never taken place ever on the face of the earth, man. And we're in those times where it's going to turn up even more. The Lord's speaking of time for the elect's sake specifically. And the Lord's going to give the elect confidence while he's increasing the destruction. To be able to trust in him in those times, man.
Because when you believe in something and finally nobody else believed it, and it finally comes, like everybody's like, I thought it never came, but you on swore.
That's the spirit I did a video and use those exact same words. What does Scripture say? At destruction and death, thou shalt laugh at it. You want to have so much confidence that destruction is taking place, you laugh because you know in the spirit you're going to be safe. You're part of the broken.
That's right.
The Lord's going to make it clear who is chosen is, man. He said, then shall let me know who am I chosen. Because they're going to be protected while all this is going on.
That's right.
I got a precept.
I got a precept. Second Ezra, it goes right in what he just said. Second Ezra, chapter 7. Verse 34, but judgment only shall remain. Truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong.
Yeah, dude. That's spirit right there. The elect is going to increase in their faith, man. The Lord, and the Lord's going to have to turn up the faith, because the things that we're going to be seeing, we ain't never seen ever on the face of the earth. Lord willing, again, we're part of that number. So as the destruction is increasing, the Lord is making the house of David stronger. Waxing stronger.
And imagine, like
the brother's gonna be screaming and everything. Get him, Lord!
I know.
Get him!
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
River getting really in the spiritual, like, yo.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the spirit the Lord gonna put on his men, man. Go harder, man. Hard.
Very divine stuff, because I was in the field on wax, but this was last week, and I've been thinking about it. Lord, I gotta do a video on it, because I got call brothers, man. I went to sleep that night and stuff, and brothers were talking about what in that time that brothers gonna be in the lead east of the field.
That's right.
Seeing different animals, think about it. Man, you might see a bunch of gorillas, and you know damn well them gorillas is big. They can crush things, man.
Silverback for infrared.
You know how big they are and stuff.
Right.
Imagine you being a bunch of amongst all of them and stuff, and you look at them, they look at you. You just give them the shalom, they give you the shalom too, man. You know, but then they look towards somebody else and start beating the crap out of them, man.
As soon as they see you, they start smiling, getting all happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So beating on it, like bro said, beating on their chest, like, ah,
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? Shalom, bro. And that's how you know what I'm saying. They're like, yo, that's how you know that. They know. Let's get into it. Look, man. I seen a video the other day with this was a silverback gorilla. You know what I'm saying? It was doing sign language, bro.
Yep.
I said, remember he was saying that the so-called white man been treating him cruel. You know what I'm saying? So shit, man, ain't nothing shit. Shit, as long as have a monkey speak.
Hell
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
Shit, Caesar spoke. You know what I'm saying? On planet of the eight. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right?
The Lord said, you know what I'm saying? The Lord going to perform some miracles anyway, man. All right?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Or if they don't speak, it's going to be like a mental thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Noah and the animals and all that. I mean, a dog can speak to you, you know what I'm saying? By just barking or whatever. You don't understand what he's saying. You got to actually be coming out with words or whatever. That barking is his way to talk.
That's
And
right.
them apes or whatever they do, you know what I'm saying? It's the sound of them talking. You're going to know if they're talking to be friendly or if they're talking to get ready to kill. You're going to see them face reactions, right?
That's right. And you know, that's what I'm saying. The spirit, I had that, that dream. And I looked at him. He looked at me. He gave me a face of a smile.
Right.
And I was like, I gave him the shalom. He gave me the shalom. As soon as that happened, openness, gladness, and faith, that increased.
And favor, like I read earlier, right? In the scripture, right?
And then, and the most beautiful part about it is, in that moment, right. And as I looked up, the animals do the same thing, brother. And praising the Lord, because the animals give praise to the Lord too, man.
Yeah.
And however they do, whether it's a howl,
Yeah.
whether they can lift up their hands or not, they was giving praises to the Lord too, man. So that's gonna be happening these days, man. Where men of the Lord are gonna be and we will increase in the field, and their faith is gonna be waxed more and more, man.
Right.
When these things happen, when death and destruction, they survive all through it through the spirit and grace of Yahweh by Shalom Shad.
Right. Come on, Job 5th chapter.
God. No, just the spirit, because I'm saying that because these are the things that's going to be happening, and the men of the Lord will be surviving. This is the second Ezra. The second Ezra is 15 and 14. It says, for there shall be, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So the Lord saying death and destruction to this world, and them that dwell therein. Now that woe, that death and destruction doesn't apply to the elect.
Right.
Because what? The elect will be saved in those times, right? It says what?
It said on the scripture I read, and when the sun says he's going to protect you.
That's right.
He's going to cover you with his right hand.
That's right. It says, verse 15. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Now the men of the Lord are going to be seeing that. We're not going to be taking part in that. Like brothers always saying, we're not going to be taking part in that. But we're going to be seeing it, and through all that, people are going to be losing their minds. So we talk about what's happening down there in Venezuela. We have people fighting against each other and literally having swords or guns in their hands, destroying the people, man. So imagine that happening here in America, where it's even worse, because America is known as the country that has the most guns and held in the people's hands. The other countries, they have guns, but it's mainly the military has it, the police has it. No, in America, everybody and their grandma got a gun.
Well, I read somewhere, not to cut somewhere that in America, they're estimated 3 times as many guns per population.
That's 3 guns per person,
Per household.
Per household, right? Jake like to keep extra guns on the low and stuff like that. So how much more, man? We're coming in those times, man. So there's gonna be sedition among men, all these things, but the men of the Lord are gonna go through it, and the Lord's gonna take them through it, and it's gonna increase their faith. It says just a little bit more, brother. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, there shall not regard their
What's going on there? Yeah, other people excited, other people to go against the government, man. That's going on as we make this video right here.
That's right.
And this throughout the 4 corners of the earth. It's going to be made here in America. So most definitely words of faith and the truth is coming to pass as we speak. As soon as we speak, as fast as we speak, the Lord make them come to pass.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. It says,
there's a 15th chapter.
It says, verse 16, there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, meaning whatever a man desires to do, he's going to be able to do it. And there ain't going to be no consequences. Right. So in that day, like the verse said, in reading that scripture, the love of men shall wax cold. Right. A man's going to be able to truly do what he's been deeply down, like, desire. Like, he desired to, you know, he's been a friendly dude and everything, but he desires to kill people.
All the women in the front row.
So, I'm going to get her, man, or I'm going to get that dude.
Your baby mama running her damn mouth, you're going to do what you want to do.
And nobody's going to be able to stop you.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me get verse 17 and 18, and then I'll come in again. It says, a man should desire to go into a city, but should not be able, because not only will these cities lockdowns, best believe Esau, even a so-called white man, he has a thing also called EMP, right, where literally it shuts off all machinery, basically, right? And the military can use that. So what? Every car has an electric system. Unless you drive a car from the 1980s or 1950s,
what they're trying to do away with all the cars, so you won't have control over your vehicle.
Exactly. So what? Now you can't even drive your car if you want to, so you can't leave the city. You know? So it's not even going to just be like, oh, just the blockages. So people can try to get out. Oh, I'm the random blockage with my cars. And this, no, man, your car's going to be shut down too, man. You know? It says what?
You ain't gonna hear no.
Right?
That ain't happening, man.
That's right.
It'll be nothing. Nothing at all.
It says, for because of their pride, it says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yeah, because of the pride, right?
Let Rob break it down. You read and let Rob break it down.
No, it's like.
Yeah, somebody read and somebody break it down.
Yeah, kind of. Verse 18. But because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Because of their pride, the Lord hates pride. And what's the most prideful place on the face of the earth? America. Right. The Edomites that run this place as well, man. And all the people who take on the lifestyle, the type of lifestyle that the devil promotes. So you being comfortable, you should have your 3-course meals a day. You know, being able to go home and enjoy your electricity, your power, your cable, enjoy your job. All that's going to come to an end, man. Right. It's going to be restored to a hope, man. And the men are going to be afraid. They're supposed to be the backbone of the families, right? So the men are going to be afraid much more than the women and children, okay? Because it's a time that's coming, the tribulation is coming on the face of earth that has never been seen ever. Right. You know?
Got precepts. Make the statement.
It said the Lord said the mightiest men. Yeah. Your warriors, your army men, your military troopers are gonna be afraid. You know? So if those are like the great men of America, they're gonna be shivering in the boots. How much more the average man that's overweight, can't do nothing for himself.
It says this is Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall.
Pride goeth before destruction. Okay? You see a person all on high, all prideful, arrogant. He's so prideful. He's walking down the street with his chest up. He can't be touched. Right before he's going to be destroyed, you see how prideful he is, man, at an all-time high.
They ain't just came out the cave. They ain't just came out the cave. Right. So that's the thing about it. Yeah. Lord can take a cave, man, and put him on top of the earth. Yeah. How much more his people? We can't even fathom the level that we're going to be on, man. And the Lord put this caveman, he let this caveman go into outer space. Man, this man got a space station, man. This man is out of space right about now, chilling, man. Looking down upon the earth right about now. If the Lord can take a caveman and give him that much power, how much more, the elect of the nation of Israel, man. We can't even fathom, Lord, when we hear that number, we can't even fathom what type of level we're going to be on, man. All right? That's right. We're going to be on the level of a God. That's right. Small G. Yes. Look, always small G, baby. Right. Always small G, baby. Look, I say small G anyway. Any day, man. That's right. You know? Well, we gotta really get in tune with the spirit of sin. We can't even fathom, man. So we gotta be so thankful. We gotta thank the Lord every day, man. Straight up, man. And we Israelite men too. I know, right? Lord willing, we're part of the hopeful elect. That's right. Lord willing, we're part of that chosen number, though. That's right. Come on, man. We can't even fathom. That's why the Lord said, eyes have not seen, and ears have not heard. What I got planned for those that's waiting on me, that's fighting, that's hoping, Just believing. While everybody else just walking past and not taking heed to the words of the Lord. The men that is taking heed to the words of the Lord are going to be crowned soon come.
That's right.
That's going to be a bit of a thing. And let the scripture say, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. You know that's get some type of healing power, you know what I'm saying? Or some type of status from Yahweh Shai. Watch what these people start doing. You see how they go crazy over Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, and all that, man. Come on, look, the so-called white man set them men up. How much more the Lord? That's right. When the Lord set his men up, everybody on the face of the earth, we're trying to get with him. It's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. We ain't taking 30 seconds, sloppy seconds. You know what I'm saying? Right. We ain't taking nobody's sloppy seconds. You know what I'm saying? The men of the Lord gonna get virgins out here, man. Virgins, yo. That's a man's delight is to get a virgin, yo. That's right. And we're going to get all that, Lord, with it, man. And we have that number. You just got to hold on for right now. This is our priority, is to teach the word first. Right. The word over everything, all right? That's right. And the majority of our people, they fight tooth and nail to get a career started off. Putting the word of the Lord last. I get to the Lord later on, you know what I'm saying? I got my career right about now. I got 3 more years of college, and then I think about the Lord. You don't even know if you got tomorrow to live. Right. That's right. That's why the scripture says, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, man. Because all hell about to break loose. They're going to make you take that jab. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make you take that MOB. And if you don't, you ain't going to be able to go nowhere. Right. You already can't get on the plane to go nowhere without vaccine. But oh yeah, you free. Go ahead, bro.
I got this recent real fast. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. Right. And it reads, and that, knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep.
How do we know we're in high time? Because of end time prophecies. Like the brother said, MOB, this is about to be made mandatory. Right. This is one of the last prophecies before Yahushua comes. This is part of the hour of temptation. Right. We in high times, and when the moments are leading up to this, like the brother said, we seconds away from this kingdom going down.
This message right here is not a message you just walk past. Oh yeah, let me have a good day. That's right. I heard what they say. I'm good. I heard they ain't saying nothing. No, this is not a message that you do that, man. Right. This is a message that you take heed to, man. Right. This is a message that's able to save your soul, man. All right. You're not taking heed to this message, then next thing you know, you end up somewhere where you don't want to be. And next thing you know, you're pooping and hollering. That's why the scriptures say a man that is unmarried think about ways how he can please the Lord. But a man that's married care about how he can please his woman. That's right. Why, oh yeah, I heard him saying, my baby want ice cream. Let's go, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We already got planned. We already got a reservation at the restaurant or whatever. Let's go. But a man of understanding, a man that fears Yahweh but Shemel Shai, and he got his priorities straight, you know what I'm saying? It's going hold on right quick, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what we're talking about right quick. Hell, maybe the restaurant, you know what I'm saying? We can look, damn that reservation. They're talking about some real stuff, but I want to hear what they got to say first. Right. So what if we're going to be 15, 20 minutes late? So what? I done gave you all week already. You know what I'm saying? You want the weekend, you better shut it up, you know what I'm saying? They're talking about something real. They say we in the end times, man. That's right. The things is getting serious, baby. Hold on, let's see what they talking about. Jake ain't got time, though. You're going to wish you had made time, though. Right. That's right. You make time for the Lord, he'll make time for you. That's right. Wait,
because it says, you know, in knowing the time. Yep. Look, we're living in the last time, and you, Jake, men, should be ashamed of yourself because you got women who come up. So the women are now, you got more women that are coming up trying to come and learn about the truth and how to be inquired to be saved to you men, man. And it starts off with the men, man. So you men should be ashamed of yourself, man. Now you got the woman, the weaker vessel, trying to come and seek the Lord more than you, man. You know.
But Jake wrote about their image, though, man. It's an image thing with Jake. It's an image thing with up here. Look how she bored to death with him, man. She bored to death. Look, that's what I'm saying. You think I'm gonna be somewhere arguing with somebody? No, I'm gonna be out here in the street with my brothers. Right. You know what I'm saying? The hell with that. So like you miss a weekend, you know what I'm saying, for coming out here teaching. Yeah, what you gonna be at home, you know what I'm saying? Put your head just like that damn woman. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like shit. She getting on my damn nerves. I should have been out there with the brothers. Now the brother only got 30 minutes left. There's only 30 minutes left of teaching. And I done missed 4 hours already. I done missed 3 hours and 30 minutes messing around with your ass now. Now I'm in the crib, you ain't fix me nothing to eat, you ain't get no brain. What was it good for? What was it good for? What was all that for? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? You could have went out there to the highways and byways and felt good in the spirit, you know what I'm saying? Got fed.
Yep. Right. What is this going to say? Those that have wives, be as those that have none.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. You put the truth first, the Lord will make it where this woman will do whatever and be on your schedule as you need her to be. once here, once a week.
To a certain point, you know what I'm saying? You know, if they probably saying you have trouble in the flesh, but exactly what that brother said. You seek the Lord first, the Lord will make your relationship go a whole lot better than it would if you didn't seek the Lord. Because if you're not seeking the Lord, your relationship is doomed anyway.
That's right.
Your relationship doomed any damn way if you're not seeking the Lord, man. I got a precept, so you finish what you got. What you got?
So the last part of this, of 11, it says, and knowing that the time is now high time to awake out of sleep.
Yeah, see, because we know what time it is, the host of the so we got to continue to stay on that straight gate, man, the straight path. You know, because the time is in, man, your house has to come back.
Right.
That's right. It says, for now is our salvation nearer than what we believe.
All the signs that we're going into, 2nd Matthew 24th chapter, 2nd Ezra 15th chapter, all these signs indicate that salvation is nearer than what we believe.
And destruction.
And destruction for this place, man.
There's two sides to every coin. You got salvation coming, aka deliverance, chariots, and then you got destruction. Laser beams, you know what I'm saying, and missiles. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is controlling it all. Whether you end up in a chariot or you end up in some damn fire, you know what I'm saying? Hollering, screaming, being tortured. You know. So if your woman is worth your crown, worth more than your crown, then go to the damn restaurant then. You know? On a date you're supposed to be camping. You got all week to take your woman to a restaurant, but you ain't the camp day. You know what I'm saying? What happened, brother? I was busy doing some things. You know, I was busy. All right, now. Hope you was busy doing the right thing then, because them angels right there, writing the report down like, oh, really? Then the Lord knows if you're doing something that you need to do, then you know what I mean? If you're doing something you know you don't supposed to be doing, you're missing camps. Right now, I don't take no chance with the Lord.
I know, right? That's right.
That was this still out about?
Yeah, come on.
This is 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 3. The second epistle, meaning this letter, right? Beloved, the house of David, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance.
Coming back to your nationality, coming back to who you are, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, or the Israelites. Call on the true names. Lord, stir up your pure minds and start
This how time we got to sleep, right?
Right.
This is supposed to wake you the hell up. Hearing this message, because now they'll say it's in a video form now, instead of a letter. They say it's in a video form. And look, we out here on the highways and byways. You hear this word is supposed to bring you back, like Ross said, to your nationality, the name of the Heavenly Father and the Son, and the time that you're living in. You're supposed to hear this word and say, oh yeah, okay, I'll holler at y'all, and just zoom the hell off. You don't even know what awaits you down the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. That ye may be mindful. Mindful, man. Not forgetful, but mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets. And of the commandments of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior.
Now, what were the holy prophets speaking of? They're speaking of death and destruction coming to Babylon the Great. And we're living in those times. You gotta be mindful, be aware of these things. The scripture say, blessed is he that readeth. You know, you read throughout the Bible, the Lord said he's gonna destroy Babylon the Great, man. Read about it, Jeremiah, Isaiah. And so we're living in those times, so you gotta be considerate and be mindful, aware of these things. You know, once the Lord stir up your pure minds, you know, by pouring the Holy Spirit on you and get you to get the faith to come back to your nationality.
Well, remember it says, don't be a forgetful hearer. You know what I'm saying? You hear these words, don't forget what the words of the prophets told you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, the Lord is coming back soon, man. To destroy this place. Our people bug the hell out too, man. But the Lord's gonna make everything right. You know what I'm saying? Fire is a cleansing thing. You know what I'm saying? Fire is gonna take all the impurities off everybody on the face of the earth. You see what I'm saying? Fire is gonna do that, man. Right?
Fire is necessary.
Right. Fire is a necessary. You know what I'm saying? It's a necessary element. You know?
As you said, stir up your pure minds to remembrance. Remember, the 2/3 minds is pure.
Right. So what it's talking about the amendment, what you brought out last week, holy, let them be holy still. Right. But they were holy, they were pure. They were always pure, man. But a good tree can't bring forth corrupt fruit. That's right. A corrupt tree can't bring forth good fruit. You know what I'm saying? Great. I got another precept because you got something before I bring this out?
Yeah. In fact, this is Proverbs. I'll let you
sure. This is Sirach chapter 36. Sirach chapter 36, verse 5. And let them know thee, as we have known thee, that there is no power but only thou, O Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Look, show new signs. You said signs, right? Show new signs. You think the Lord showing new signs, man? All right. You know, I know you've been seeing the eclipse, solar eclipse. You know what I'm saying? More chariots sighted, blood moons. The Lord is showing new signs, man.
That's right.
And dogs like that love us to death, look. Dogs like that love us to death. Dog all calm, walking past. Ain't no aggression or none of that when these animals walk past us, man. And this been going on for years. You know what I'm saying? A dog can see another dog and get angry, but a dog can see us and relax. Put his head down, we just sit down. We had dogs get ready to walk past, the dog just sit. And the owner like, and trying to figure out why the dog sit, man. The dog like, I don't want to go nowhere. All that happened, man. The Lord showing all kind of signs, man. Okay? Name some other signs, brothers.
Some of the signs, fires in the earth.
Right.
Forest fires that happened in California, the flooding. What's those things? Sinkholes. You have a lot of those going over there in the Middle East, man. Sinkholes is swallowing people up, man. Down there in the what's called
Central America?
Yeah. It's like train of thought. In Central America and Amazon, you got people getting swallowed by snakes and stuff, man.
Right.
More death. That's a sign in the earth, man.
The newly created creature in the ocean.
More earthquakes, more wars, rumors of wars, more pessimists, all that, man. All them signs, man.
Well, Ezekiel the 37th chapter, the Great Awakening.
Yeah, man.
Israel waking up. When does that ever happen?
That's right.
You know?
That's why I'm gonna read 5 again. Ezekiel, not Ezekiel. You say Ezekiel, so that means we say it. Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 36:5. And let them know thee as we have known thee. See, we know you how, but you know, shot.
Right.
Let them know you, Lord, as we know you, right?
That's right.
It says that there is no power. Let them know that Buddha don't exist. Let them know that Allah don't exist. The Hindu god is Shiva. You know what I'm saying? The Hindu god is Shiva. The many other, the fish god, Dagon, and all that. Let them know that they don't exist, Lord. We already know it already.
That's right.
It says that there is no power but only thou, oh Yahweh. Because remember Deuteronomy 32:39? You and I and he, and there's no power with me. You know? It says, show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, meaning Lord Yahweh shall glorify your son, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy.
That's right.
Can I quickly say something?
Yeah.
It says, make them know you, like we know you, but on like you said, 2 sides of that coin. We found you how about you know in peace. We know him in peace. They're not gonna know him in peace. Because he's gonna bring the destruction upon us. So they're gonna know him. But they're gonna know the wrath side of him. They're not gonna know the mercy of the Lord. We see the mercy and kindness, loving kindness of Yahweh. Right? But we still know that what he brings wrath. They're gonna know the wrath.
Sleazy get a motorcycle. He don't know how to wave like that like Drake. Drake's a little flavor, man. So you see Sleazy eating us, he might have his Harleys or whatever. He all lame on his Harley. Jake come through with flavor, man. Jake come through with, Jake put music on this shit. Jake deck his bike out and everything, man. Jake got no sense spoilers, rims and everything on his bike, man. That's Jake right there, man. You know what I'm saying? The salt of the earth, man. Jake make riding a Harley cool, man. Jake do that, man. Got music for the, you got one Jake playing the music for the men, got other Jake playing the music for the women. You know what I'm saying? Jake's still chilling, man. He's coming through, man. You know? You see what Jake do, you know what I'm saying? Like on a good day like this, cookout, hang out with the women, hang out with his boys. What sleazy do? Someone trying to blow something up. You know what I'm saying? You know, someone trying to eat some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Looking at a blueprint, bro.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Trying to do some kitty porn or something. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I know, right?
Dressing up with put a dress on or something. You know what I'm saying? Put his wife's panties on or something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Right or wrong, no, brothers?
Right.
You know? We just riding with their motorcycle, man, playing some old nonsense, whatever, but still chilling, though. You know what I mean? You see what the men of the Lord out here doing.
That's right.
We can't, you know, we really mean, we'll speak upon that first anyway. Still. So Rock 36 is 7. Raise up indignation.
Righteous anger.
Right.
You know? And we're praying the Lord continue to put apply pressure on this place, which we know He is.
Right.
You know? Raise indignation, bring death and destruction upon this place, man.
Right. Right. Pour out thy wrath. Take away the adversary.
Yeah. Our enemies, take away our adversary.
Right.
Esau and these other nations,
Right.
and 2/3 of the nation of Israel that
Right.
are rebellious, man.
Right. It says, and destroy the enemy.
Destroy them, lay them out, man. You know, put them down, put them to death.
Right.
You know?
It says, make the time short.
Yeah, make the time short. You know, speed up time, which the Lord says He's going to do anyway.
Right.
You know, for the elect's sake.
Remember, it's the year of the hastening
Hastening
of our
day,
Lord.
yeah.
Make the time short.
That's right.
Real, man.
That's right.
Who's going to be crying to the Lord? The Lord, we ready to get up out of here.
Right.
Come on now.
That's right.
So still say cry out loud.
That's right.
Instead of mark up on the foreheads of the men that's trying to cry.
That's right.
Make the time short, Lord.
That's right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said in Job, the 20th chapter. In Job, the 14th chapter, right?
That's right.
It says, make the time short. Remember the covenant, meaning the agreement with us, and let them declare thy wonderful works. It says, let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people.
Yep. Our enemies, man. Those that oppressed us, our enemies, Esau,
That's right.
these other heathen nations down here, these Indians, Arabs, and so on, all of them have made league with each other, man, to oppress us.
Right.
We're going to destroy them, Lord.
Right.
And 2/3 nation of Israel,
That's right,
those
man.
who get through a famine and pestilence, give them a missile, Lord.
That's
Right.
right.
You know, give them a laser beam.
144. The red car. Yeah, 144. Going right back. The Lord just confirmed what you said He's gonna do. He gonna do
That's
it.
right.
144 just went right around the corner. The Lord said that. The Lord
He
gonna
cut
do
it just
it.
in time.
All right? The Lord gonna do it. Brothers be having dreams. I see numbers. You know what I'm saying? I see numbers, right? It says, and that's a bad scripture, ain't it? Look. Remember, the day of the Lord is like fleeing from a lion and a bear met him. So you're getting through many different situations, right? So you think it's all to the good, right? When the prophet, look, so Rock said, yeah, if they escape all that, Lord, make sure that fire get them. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that fire get them. Everything good, bro? You about to be out on your job.
Yeah, the Lord's got some type of destruction laid out for those that are His enemies.
Right.
And we're praying that the Lord continues to shut down and apply pressure on this place.
You gonna make it that time?
Yeah. Anybody that's an enemy of Yahweh Shai, we send a curses upon you, man.
Right.
We pray the Lord bring death and destruction on you ASAP, man.
Right. It says, make the time short. Remember the covenant, the agreement with Israel, no other nation. It says, and let them declare thy wonderful works. Let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire.
Yeah, those that escape the perilous times like the famine or the pestilences, you know, bring upon them a bigger death.
Right.
You know, a laser beam or nuclear destruction, man.
And you know that fire gonna be one of the worst ways to die anyway. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures tell you, saying that famine is one of the worst ways to die, but that fire exceeds that. That fire exceeds that famine, man. It says, let them perish that oppress the people.
Yeah, our enemies, man, that oppress us, man. You know, starting with Esau, you know, all our enemies are this Esau, the 83rd chapter, we always go through it. But let them perish, man, that oppress us. That's true reparations right there, too, man. That's what we're looking forward to. We're not looking for no money, no fiat currency, none of that. We're looking for the Lord to bring destruction on our enemies.
Right. It ain't no this bygones be bygones. It ain't I'm praying for you. Just know, man. Whatever comes your way, you deserve it. It says, look, smite and sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen. Brother, bookmark this whole thing now. Right. You bringing out them captivity scriptures and things of that nature. Make sure you most definitely bring that out. Bring all that out. Yep, so 36. 36. You can start at 1, I'm saying, but I went and jumped down to the point, you know. Oh, because 2 said, send thy fear upon all the nations. You know what I'm saying? I just jumped down, so just to hit some points. Verse 10 again, smite and sunder. Smite means to kill. Smite and sunder. I thought the Lord loved everybody, right? Smite and sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen.
Yep, the heads, man, bring them out. Now, what did King Saul tell David? When you kill Goliath, bring his head, man.
Right.
You know, destroy our enemies. Bring their heads, man.
Right.
Bring them out. Smite them. You know.
You know, there's like the different rulers of these different nations, man. Yo, man, they get ready to go through it, man.
Yeah. Those governments, what? In the government, you have an hierarchy. At the government, Lord says split the head of it.
Right.
Cut it, you know, break it asunder means to split it in half.
Right.
You know, make it no more. So those little, you know, top countries, whether it be what's his name, Vladimir Putin and, you know, and Kim Jong-un, split their whole, you know, hierarchy. The Lord is gonna cut that all down, man. Cut that in half.
It says that there is none other but we. Gather all the tribes, like the hell with these nations, man. It's only us. It's only us. He made a covenant with us, not these other nations, right?
That's right.
It says, gather all the tribes of Jacob together, and inherit thou them. And we know that's not from the elect, as from the beginning. O Lord, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel. Thou shalt all the priests of the power, whom thou hast named thy firstborn. And be merciful unto Jerusalem, a people before us a place, thy holy city, the place of thy rest. Fill Zion with thine unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raised up prophets that have been in thy name. Reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful.
That's right. What is the ultimate reward? You want to say something?
No, we read that earlier. But
oh yeah.
You know, those that wait upon the Lord shall inherit the earth. You know, the meek shall inherit the earth. And those that wait upon Yahweh shall. This is what.
Yep.
It says, and let thy prophets be found faithful. Yep. You know what I'm saying? The prophets of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Yahweh shall is going to keep faith in him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even in the time when they get weak, that faith still gonna kick in.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I read earlier, when you're applying faith shall wax strong. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It says, when you feel weak and when you about to give up, the Lord gonna increase your faith to make sure you don't give up. It says, let's see. Reward them that wait for thee. Everybody else walking past, we waiting on the Lord, right? Reward them. Remember, I'm gonna set a crown on their head. They waited for me, a glorious crown. It says, reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful. O Lord, hear the prayer of thy servants, according to the blessings of Aaron over thy people, that all they which dwell upon the earth may know that thou art the Lord, the eternal power.
That's right. That's right. All the nations gonna know who the true power is, man. No, the true and living power, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Now, Revelation 15:4 says, all nations, 15:4.
What's that?
All nations are going to fear. Revelation 15:4. No, that's not. Oh yeah, that's it. Revelation 15:4. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. And the Lord's going to instill permanent fear here in the face of the earth. It's going to start with the hopeful elect. Then it's going to grow when these other nations see the power of Yahweh Shai through his marvelous works that he's getting ready to perform.
That shows you the magnitude of. You gotta really think about it. The Lord's gonna put permanent fear in all the nations. That shows you how much the Lord is actually gonna bring to this place. You got dang, everyone is gonna fear the Lord.
Remember, everybody feared the Lord during the Exodus.
Yep.
You know, it's been so long, that they forgot all that. Right? Even though that was one of the greatest events that ever happened. Right. You know what I'm saying? these people that went back to sleep.
Yep.
They done forgot about Yahweh, about Shema. So the Lord's like, yo, now you'll never forget this one.
Yep.
This time you'll never forget. You're gonna always be fearing me, yo.
Right.
You know?
And they show you that in the movies. That what after the all the movies, the post-apocalyptic ones, there's always a story of how the nukes hit and stuff. How the nukes hit in a certain place was destroyed. I forget what's the TV show called, The 100.
Yeah.
Brothers are watching.
Yes, it.
You know, they coming down from space, but in space they had stories of how the nukes struck.
Right.
And the people that was on the ground had stories
they was
about
all the people that was on the ground was all sick though. They said the ones that was on Earth, they was all sickly. You know what I'm saying? They were just dying because of something on the Earth. They said that they was catching shit.
Right after, people died from the nukes, but then if you live past that, people would die from different sicknesses.
Yeah.
But everybody had the story of the nukes dropping. And it was a remembrance. It was like, yeah, we're not gonna forget that day because it changed the course of history.
Right.
So that's the same thing we're supposed to do now. When these nukes drop, and not only nukes, because what the so-called UFOs with the chains gonna pop up in the sky, man. Right, with the Lord Yahweh leading the company.
It's gonna be an invasion soon coming.
That's right. And that's gonna never be forgotten ever on this earth ever again, man. It's gonna be told. The story's gonna be told to generations and generations for eternity.
Revelation 4 chapter, Yahweh comes, hey, every eye's gonna see it.
This is Jeremiah 16:14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. We're just talking about that. That was the greatest event ever known to mankind on the face of the earth so far. You know what I'm saying? I mean, including the flood and all that, but I'm saying, people remember Egypt more than they do the flood. Even though the flood was a great event, you can't forget that. You know what I'm saying? There's some marvelous works of Yahweh, but But according to the scripture right here, the Exodus was the greatest thing on the face of the earth.
Right.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's going into, right? Because they're gonna talk about Egypt no more. So the Lord is going into like Egypt must have been one of the greatest events, us getting delivered out of Egypt. That's what he mentioned, right?
That's right.
He could have mentioned the flood, but he mentioned Egypt, right? So we're extrapolating, which once again, the flood was a phenomenal event. We're not taking nothing away from it, But the Lord mentioned Egypt right here. You know what I'm saying? He says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said that the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So that's the greatest thing that happened in the face of the earth.
We talk about where water was brought up from wall to wall to where the land that we walk on, that the water's supposed to be, is completely dry.
Yeah. Wasn't nobody slipping or nothing.
No mud, no nothing.
No slime, no fish slime or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come on, man.
It's powerful, man.
Get Jeremiah the 3rd chapter, verse 18 for a precept right quick. Get that, bring that out right quick. You want to speak on right before?
I mean, like the brother's going into, the Lord brought into Egypt the 10 plagues. And there weren't no cell phones back then. People, the marvelous work the Lord did was so powerful. The word of mouth spread so fast.
Right.
People feared the Lord because they seen and heard about the marvelous works the Lord brought forth. Pillar by day, cloud by night, pillar by night, cloud by day.
Yep.
You can think about people from far off lands.
You can see it.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, you can see it, man.
Because if you're in the country, you can see things, further away, even if, especially no buildings around, you can see things far off. So you can see the other nations being like, what the hell is that? In the middle of the wilderness, and from that light, you see people under it.
The kingdom gonna be beautiful, what? You know what I'm saying? That's just something just to be looking at. The Lord like, man, that's just something. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even ready to go crazy over. I mean, you would love to have somebody that you travel with us, but still, they ain't nothing to really go crazy over. The Lord like, yo, I'm gonna show you, look, you like that teaching my word, keep teaching my word, I'm gonna show you what's really good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you what's really good. Go ahead, buddy.
It says Jeremiah 3 and
18.
3 and 18.
Yep.
This is Jeremiah 3 and 18.
Right.
And it reads, it says, in those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land I have given for my inheritance unto your fathers. But I said, how shall I put the
That's 18.
yeah, verse
Yeah, that's 18. So the Lord said the children of Israel and the children of Judah. Then you know right here, what I just read right here, it's talking about the Israelites. The Israelites are the ones that got led out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? When the Israelites are getting ready to get led out of spiritual Egypt, it's Sodom. Read that again, bro, one more time.
yeah. It says, this is a...
Why they doing now? They doing yelling all that nonsense, you know what I'm saying? They ain't really going into that, man. Talk some black, when nobody ain't black. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro.
It's Jeremiah 3 and 18. And it reads, it says, in those days...
In these days, when that great deliverance happened, go ahead.
That's right. It says, the house of Judah...
Right, the southern kingdom.
...shall walk with the house of Israel.
The northern kingdom. All 12 tribes, the elect of the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
Right. It says, and they shall come together.
Right, look, which we are. We're being gathered by the word. Go ahead.
Out of the land of the north.
Right, with the scriptures getting ready to go into that. Land of the north, you know what I'm saying? Lord, when we have that number, get delivered out of the land of the north, man.
That's right.
America, man. North America, man.
That's right.
That's right. You know, that's our hope, that's our faith.
That's right.
You sit on that, bro.
It says, to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers.
Jerusalem. It's our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. So let's go back. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 15. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel. It just went into who those people were. Judah and Israel, all 12 tribes, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of the north. We just read that, right? And from all the lands whether he have driven them. That's right. So Israel's, go ahead.
No, you gotta
go ahead.
This is going to be a VIP escort. He's going to take the Israelites that are part of the elect that are scattered across four corners of the earth, and mainly here in America, to that land that he gave to the Israelites, man.
Flowing milk and honey.
Flowing milk and honey. And it's going to be the most miraculous experience on the face of the earth, man, that you're going to remember ancient Egypt's deliverance, man.
Right.
You know, this is going to be deliverance that people are going to talk about forever. A million years from now, they'll talk about this deliverance.
Yep.
And you know, it's going to be televised too, so people you in your house, always say you see people being beaten up from every part of every inch of the earth.
It's the strangers of their salvation.
Come on, man. You can just imagine. You see, because everybody's gonna see Lord Yahweh and his chariot.
It will be televised, right?
That's right.
It will be televised.
That's right. They're gonna see Lord Yahweh's chariot, and then all of a sudden you're gonna see the other smaller chariots beaming up different people, man.
Right.
And those ones are the elect that believe in Yahweh, man. You know.
It says, and from all the lands whether he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
What land is that? The land of Israel.
Right.
That's our inheritance. That's the promise the Lord gave to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
You know?
Remember when I read earlier, he made that covenant with us?
Yep.
Remember, Sirach was like, remember the covenant?
Yep.
The agreement that you made with us, not the heathens?
Exactly.
So you heard Sirach say, Sirach coming in the same spirit all the prophets came right? Destroy these heathens. You know what I'm saying? Destroy these heathens. Make them our servants, make them our slaves, man. Ain't no real problem with the Lord talking on these heathens. Shit, the Sirach doesn't say no saying these heathens, some of them are going to reject their father, you know what I'm saying? You know, they're going to come join us. We're going to be sitting together. They didn't say that, man. Right? You know? Sirach don't say pretty much send us some curses upon these heathens, man.
Right?
So you have us, you know, try to destroy them, man. Destroy these heathens, yo. Bring evil upon them, destroy all our enemies and all that, man. That's the spirit all the prophets coming in, man. Hell, man.
I got a piece of you.
Yeah, it's on.
This is Jeremiah 23 and 3. And it reads, it says, and I will gather the remnant of my flock.
Yeah, the elect. The Lord's going to gather the elect. You know, the so-called Negroes that chose Native Americans.
Right. It says, out of all countries.
Out of all countries. It reminds me of Isaiah 11 and 11. You know, you got Israel scattered across the four corners of the earth.
Right.
You know?
It says, out of all countries, whether I have driven them, will bring them again to their fold, they shall be.
Yeah, for multiply, we're going to increase. You know, once the kingdom is fully established in the face of the earth, hey man, you're going to have thousands upon thousands of kids, man.
Can't do nothing but grow after that.
Bro, yeah. You know, there'll be a lot of love making in the kingdom, man.
Right.
You know, and by that, the nation of Israel is going to grow. You know?
I got a precept. And you finish that because I'm up.
The only other thing I have was
I got a precept for what you just read, bro. This is on Sirach chapter 44, verse 23. With Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham, his father's sake, the blessing of all men, the covenant.
Yep.
And made it rest upon the head of Jacob. Right?
Yep.
Right. Supposed to he made a covenant with all people. Man, no, he didn't. Isaac through Abraham, and then he laid it down, we're saying, upon Jacob's head, right? It says, he acknowledged him in his blessing. Not everybody. It says, and gave him inheritance, and divided his portions among the 12 tribes that he part them.
Yep.
It's like among the 12 tribes did he part them.
Yeah, the 12 patriarchs. No, that blessing landed on the patriarchs.
You can't get around that.
Can't get around that.
That went all in right there. That went all in. The Lord didn't make no mistake on that.
No,
Look,
right.
if you didn't understand none of the other scriptures, if you didn't understand, what is it, Jeremiah 8 and 8? Or is it Hebrews 8 and 8?
Hebrews.
It's Hebrews 8 and 8. That was one with the covenant. You know what I'm saying? That was one with the covenant, right? Hebrews 8 and 8 was one of them. And then Jeremiah something was with it. It's one of them. Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah was one of them. They made a covenant. But then the Lord came right back and said it was with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then he came right back and said, and with the 12 tribes of Israel. You ain't getting around that, man.
Because what happened? Like Abraham was on his deathbed, gave that blessing to Isaac.
Right.
Isaac was on his deathbed, gave it to Jacob. And Jacob did the same thing for his 12 sons. And then what? Pulled what? Ephraim and Manasseh to him, like, yo, these are my sons too.
Right.
Even though they were his grandsons, but through the spirit, they were like, these are my sons too.
Right.
You know? So the Lord gave us that, that inheritance.
You can't find it. I know Hebrews 8 and 8 was one on. I can't even think of the other.
The Jeremiah 31 and 31?
That might be it. Yeah, I'm saying those prove the point, but what I was saying is that right there went deep into it. It said Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Didn't even stop right there. And then it said, look, and with the 12 tribes of Israel, it didn't mention no other heathen, man. So this thing is for us and by us and nobody else. Ain't nobody getting in this thing.
That's right.
Ain't nobody getting in this thing, man. They with all these Israelite groups was trying to bring these heathens into the fold, man.
Right.
You won't be able to do it, man.
Right.
The Lord just said I established already.
Right. And the scriptures say too, there's no end of all the people. So the Israelites are here today.
Right.
You know that comes from the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Look at the 12 patriarchs.
Yeah, we the patriots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We the patriots. Go ahead, brother.
This is Jeremiah 31 and 31.
Right.
It says, behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
Nah, everybody does.
Israel.
Heathens can get it too.
Israel.
No, Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, okay? Which include the foreign Israelites. That new covenant, man, which that consists of us having new bodies and having the Lord.
He's talking about give his daughters up and everything. So, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that something, bro? Yeah, they have to get their daughters up and everything. So.
It says, new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Northern and the southern tribe, all tribes. That new covenant is the law being put in our inward parts.
Yeah.
Inward parts, so it's being perfect.
Yep.
You know? So the new covenant is only for the Israelites.
We ain't never going off ever again, brothers.
Never again.
That's going to be a joy to our spirits, man.
Right.
That's
we hate when we go off, man.
That's right.
We be repenting like I don't know what, man. Praying that the Lord have mercy on us, man.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about that soon come, Lord willing, we have that first number.
That's
And
right.
these heathens hate this, see us coming back to righteousness too.
I know, right?
Look at Jake. Look at Jake saying right there. Look at Jake.
You know, it's crazy because it's so beautiful because we can't even, especially in these bodies, we can't even imagine. You like, yo, you're never gonna go off it.
Right, I know, right.
Like, cause look, and these bodies so wickedly perfect that look, we go off every day.
Right.
One thing you can do is start singing Tony, Tony, Tony. It feels good, yeah. One thing you can say, man. You know, they got the biggest Bojangles Boston chicken I ever seen. Lord.
Damn.
Look, man. That's the biggest Boston Bojangles chicken I ever seen, man. I ain't never seen a boss that big. Have y'all? You know camera box. I know this camera gonna get it. There you go. Jake C. Big ass box of both James.
Just back of the brother, another precept. Hebrews 8:8. It says, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. You know, the 7 tribes and the northern kingdom.
They didn't say nothing about the other nation, man. This is the other nation. Jake need to stop, and the other nation needs to just stop it. Just stop it. You know what I'm saying?
It makes sense though. Like, why would you want a man that beat the hell out of you,
right,
to be right next to you? And
yeah, you heard Salah said, punish the enemies, man.
Right.
Destroy them.
Right.
Put them into the fire. You know what I'm saying? We got a precept. This is St. Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushai, for he shall save his people from their sins.
A personal pronoun, you know, possessive. Who's the Lord's people? The Israelites, man.
Right.
So salvation pertains to the Israelites, the covenant pertains to the Israelites, the law pertains to the Israelites.
Right.
You know?
You only have I know. When you made that, I mean, you know.
Plain Jane, man.
And that custom is a so-called Christian because if you ask a Christian, all right, do you believe the Bible contradicts itself? And they'll be like, oh no.
Before you can bring on the scripture, you ask them that first, man. You know what I'm saying? Ask them that first before you even bring out a scripture, man. You know, do you truly believe in the Bible? Everything that I bring out, do you believe that it's faithful and true? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, sure. You got it, man. We asked for it. All right, dude. Well, what do you think about this, dude? Well, no, that's all. Right. You're bringing it down wrong. They say you're ad. You know what I'm saying?
You know, so hey man, it shows that what the Lord didn't change, man. He said Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob forever, man. You know? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, like Sirach said, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and 12 tribes forever.
Right.
You know, so it's only for us, man. You know, any man in his right mind does not want the man that beat you and crap out of him to be next to him at a round table.
That shows a lack of ruling class mentality.
That's right.
I got a precept. Numbers 23 and 19, actually. Numbers 23 and 19.
So you never know about
Yahweh is not a man that he should lie.
So, that's another thing. Yo, because, you know, the Spirit is talking about these Christians, what? Because, you know, a lot of people are into Christianity. Most of our people are into Christianity. If not, they're into Islam. So those that say they believe in the Bible, the God of the Bible don't lie.
Right.
So whatever the Lord said, or what else, that was for days ago, or years back then.
Right.
The Lord said he's not a liar. Right. He already said he don't change, so he's saying he changes. You gotta give him something.
Numbers 23 and 19. Yahweh is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man, Yahushai, that he should repent.
Then the Heavenly Father said to Lord Yahushai, he's gonna put his enemies under his footstool. Make them as his footstool. That was the promise. So you telling me the Lord lied about that? That all the heathens will be all good? No. They're going to be under servitude under the only begotten Son, Lord Yahushua, man. All right, and his men, because his men going to be co-rulers with him, man. All right, so somebody got to be under the foot, man.
That's right.
You know?
It says, have he said, and shall he not do it?
Right? The Lord said that he's going to do these things. All right, and he's what? He's going to be good on his word about it. The Lord has never said anything and has never done it. All right, the Lord always comes through for what he says, bro.
Always.
Right.
Always, man. All right? The Lord always makes good on his promises.
Right.
Right?
It says, or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
And he's spoken, and shall he not make it good? All right? People are like, well, look, the reason why we're in this predicament right now is because the Lord said we will be, man. All right? So you live into your life the way it is because the Lord said it would be like that, you know, until a certain time, man. So the Lord never lied, man. You know? So everything the Lord had promised, like heathens being under us and the kingdom of heaven, the covenant only being for us, that wasn't a lie, man. That was nothing but the truth.
Right.
That's right.
I appreciate it. This is Isaiah 46. I started 9. The point is at 10. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else.
So remember the things of old, but what happened in the ancient world, right? All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the only one, you know? There's no one sitting. Buddha is not sitting next to the Lord like, well, man, I don't think we should do that. No. It's the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and he gave all the power to Lord Yahweh Shai, Lord Yahweh Shai. Everything that the Heavenly Father would do.
Right.
You know?
It says, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else.
That's right.
I am Yahweh, and there is none like me.
That's right.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
He said declaring the end from the beginning. That shows you he had to be the author of the book.
Right.
Because the author only knows that, all right, this is how I want the story to end, this is how I want the story to begin.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
You know, you did that back in school. All right, you know, so I know the beginning and the end, that's got, you know. But so that means, look, you're the author of the book. This is the Lord's story, man. That's right, that's right.
It says, and from times, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
That's right, the things that haven't happened yet, the Lord still sanctioned it to happen, man. He wrote it all. This is the Lord's story at the end of the day, man.
Right.
We just happen to play the part that we're playing, man. And,
right.
And we're thankful for that, man. Because anybody could be in our part, you know. The Lord chose us to be in this position right here.
Yeah. Right. The Lord can have some rocks come out here, you know what I'm saying, talk for a little bit if you want to, and then fall right back into the rocks, you know what I'm saying, and nobody wouldn't even be able to know what's going on. The Lord will wait for everybody, you know what I'm saying, to disappear from off the streets. They had the rocks turn right, kind of mid turn right back in the rocks. The Lord cold like that.
Right. Rocks raise up looking just like you.
Right.
All of a
sudden, and everything. They ain't got to go use the bathroom and eat or nothing, you know what I'm saying, to speak.
Straight fire
right.
coming out.
You know what I'm saying? Flame. You know.
Night come time, they go back to the corner and drop the rocks.
I know, right. You know, without anybody looking to see it. Right? It says, I'm declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done.
That's right. From ancient times back then, where our forefathers, he declared things that things happening until now.
Right.
Some of those things still haven't happened yet, man. Right? And only what the God of the Bible can do that, man. No other God of any of these false books was predicting anything. Man.
Right.
You know? Only our God, man. Only our power, man.
Yep. Saying, my counsel shall stand.
My counsel shall stand. Our God, our power's counsel is going to stand.
Never he'll change that.
That's right. You know, what he says goes.
Right.
All right, and nobody can switch it up, man.
Right. Okay? And I will do all my pleasures.
See, the Lord's going to do all what makes him happy, man. You know? Whether it be you being eaten by an alligator, or you being saved up out of here, man. Or you getting hit by a nuclear missile, or you getting beaten up in a chariot.
Right.
Whatever happens to you, it pleases the Lord to do it.
Right.
That's why Lord's will. We pray that we be a part of the elect, that we be pleasing to the Lord to deliver us out of this crazy miracle. You know? Because we don't want to be caught up in the nuclear missile, man. Right? Because what? It's going to be pleasant unto the Lord to destroy 2/3 of our people in these missiles. Because they don't believe in him.
Jeremiah 23 and 20. Jeremiah 23 and 20. The anger of the Lord shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart.
Before he executes, before he performs, man. Right? Before executes means what? Put in action. Okay? So the Lord's not going to say something and then it's not true. The Lord doesn't, the Lord doesn't bluff. That's the term, man. Men bluff, man. No, the Lord doesn't bluff. What he says is going to
It says, in the latter days he shall consider it perfectly.
In the latter days which we are in, we shall consider it, think upon it deeply, but perfectly, man. Right, that what our Lord does not lie, man. Everything that he's saying and has said is coming to pass.
It's good to be out here preaching this word.
Okay.
Standing up for righteousness, man. You never know who you're going to encounter. You don't know who's going to come up. You never know, man. We're standing in great boldness for Yahweh Shemel Shadow. You know what I'm saying? We ain't covering our faces. We're looking dead at you. If you know us, you know us. If you don't, you don't. It don't even matter.
That's right.
As long as the Lord sees how he's doing his will, that's all that matters to us.
That's right.
This is Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 37. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whether I have driven them in mine anger.
That's right. So the Lord, you know, anger the Lord, so he scattered us amongst all nations. That's why you got certain brothers saying, hey man, for the Lord to make you look like Esau, man, he made you angry. Like, you pissed off the Lord, right? To look like
Already
that.
getting married. You know what I'm saying? From mocking and bucking up. You know what I'm saying?
God.
She's like, no, don't make me look as one that's dead.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, hey, man, it shows you what, in the Lord's anger, that's why we're scattered. But also, it's like it's a blessing in the curse because Esau was trying to, if we all looked the way we were supposed to look, Esau, all right, cool, I know how to kill
That has to be, that's why these other groups ain't spiritual at all, man. You gotta have Israelites that look like gooks. You see, you gotta have Israelites that look like sleazees.
right?
You gotta have Israelites that look like Ishmael. You know what I'm saying? Arab and all that, man. Down here in Indians. You can't have them all looking like Shaft. Plus, the Lord gives me variety. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't have all black people on the face of the earth.
Right. You say you can't put the Lord in the box?
Yeah.
I was watching Korean talk with my daughter this morning, actually. You know, doing dance moves and everything.
Right.
Jakes.
Yeah.
They're Israelites. You can tell by their spirit.
Yeah.
They got that walk. They Jabberwock all them, man. They got that walk. They look into the camera. You know how Jake got to be in the camera.
I know, right? I know, right, bro?
The same way those niggas on the motorcycle were, you can tell the Israelites the same way. You can tell just because they look like groups don't
Yeah.
I was watching a video, I forgot what brother sent it, and it was a so-called Korean man doing the old R&B video. He had the cornrows like Jake.
Right.
I mean, he looked like, Moab. But he
You
had
see
the
Manny Pacquiao son, right? With the flat top. Y'all seen y'all picture that?
Nah, I gotta see that.
Yeah.
But
Manny Pacquiao son got a flat top. Each had eight drinks on.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
Manny Pacquiao's a chick.
God. Hey, it shows the Lord, out of anger did that to us.
Oh, Lord. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whether I have driven them in mine anger,
That's right.
and in my fury,
That's right.
and in great wrath.
Right. See, the Lord does emphasize in his wrath he did that, man. We made him angry. That's why he scattered us. That's why he spilled the nation. Because what? We made him greatly angry because what? Under King Solomon, King David, we was together. We was all together, man. All 12 tribes. We made the Lord angry and he's all separated us.
Right. It says, and I will bring them again into this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely.
What was going to cause Israel again? He said to gather us, pick us up,
Right.
and drop us off back home, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it shows you that those people in the land right now
Show you the mercy of the Lord. That's right. Show you the mercy of the Lord.
because he didn't have to. We made him greatly angry, and the Lord could have destroyed us and raised up another nation if he wanted to. Right. But no, he made a promise that the Lord's not going to be in East alive. He made a promise to Abraham.
He's bound by his word.
That's right. Bound by the word.
Bound by his words.
Fact. Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
So those that have mercy on Jacob, right? He elected a nation of Israel, right? You read that on the top?
Yep, Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
Yet, even though all the stuff that Israel is doing, he's going to yet choose Israel, man. Look, that's his beautiful comely woman, man. Hey, man, that's my woman, man. I'm going to tell you, that shows you the mercy of the Lord, man. Because the Lord didn't have to take us back because what? Spiritually we committed adultery on our husband, man. But the Lord's like, I'm going to take him back, man.
Shows that mercy, man. You know what I'm saying? His mercy is great.
Right.
Yeah. It says, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
Set them in their own land. That's what we're looking forward to, man. The Lord to come pick us up and drop us off back home, man. Right now, we're in the wilderness, man.
That's right.
It is dark, demonic ass place, man. Demons is lurking, like brothers say, demons is lurking around every corner to try to come and get you, man. That's why I always try to say about Satan, you look to sift you. I pray for you, man. So Lord's going to be a part of that. Lord is praying for us, man.
That's right. It says, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Strangers are not talking about the other people.
No, right?
It's talking about the Israelite foreigners, man. Okay? Just like it says, brother, get Ezekiel 14:6. Because that also uses the word stranger, 6 and 7. That stranger is talking about what? The Israelite that wasn't, wasn't in the land. You know, he might have lived in the land of Boaz. In the land of Japheth. But he was the Israelite. That's what it's talking about. The Israelite foreigners, man.
Corners of 7, man.
Kind of got it. Corners of 7.
Start at 6.
Yes, at 6.
Like Ezekiel 14 and 6. Therefore say unto the house of Israel,
So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners.
it says, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, repent and turn yourselves from your idols.
And that's what we're telling them. You repent, turn back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, to the one ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ, all right? And turn back from your idols, man. All right? Stop worshiping Buddha, Allah, Santa Maria. Stop worshiping yourself, your woman, all right? I'm just saying in language terms, stop worshiping Allah and worship the Lord, man. Okay?
Right.
You know?
It says, and turn yourselves from your idols, and turn away your faces from all your abominations.
Turn away from your abominations and wicked detestable filthy acts, man. Stop doing things that is contrary to the Bible, man. Okay? Right? That what the Lord will be against. Stop doing those things. Right? Eating crab, pork, lobster, man. Right? Getting in the shape of violence, committing adultery, a man with another man's wife, or a woman stepping on her husband, man. Stop getting tattoos, man.
Right.
These are just some of the few things, that girls go into, man. There's more, But mainly, look, stop serving other gods, man. Okay?
I got 2 seconds.
Verse 7, for every one of the house of Israel, or of the stranger,
everyone of the house of Israel, or of the stranger
that sojourneth in Israel,
the stranger that's not from, that's not naturally from the homeland. Right now, we're all strangers. You know? Look, we wasn't born in the land of Israel.
it says, which separated himself from me, and set up his idols in his heart.
See what? Lord saying that what? Man that knows he's an Israelite to those that don't, or the Israelite foreigner, if you don't turn back to the Lord, you set the idols in your mind, you don't turn back unto the Lord,
and putteth the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and coming to the prophet to inquire of him.
Now you want to know what you gotta do, right? Hey man, how do I get right with God? Well, first of all, start calling on God as Jesus Christ. Right? But if you don't want to do those things, guess what? How about you outside is going to be sweet, man. Lord says he's going to see
Turn on that up.
all those.
Turn on up. It's not.
So all those that don't seek the Lord, shall die, man.
Right. He said, and putteth the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and coming to a prophet to inquire of him concerning me.
Right?
I, the Lord, will answer him by myself.
We all know how the Lord talks. The Lord don't get down with words, man. Right? The Lord start talking.
Lord, I speak in rap, I speak by earthquakes.
That's right. That's right.
I speak by storms.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Thunder.
Right. Swallowing people up.
Flame of devouring fire. That's how I speak.
That's right.
I speak in wrath. I speak in anger.
That's right. You don't want that, man. And this is saying deep down you want it. If you're not hearkening to the words of the Lord, man, deep down you want that. Negative attention from the Lord. Right. So what they say, a child wants the attention, whether it's positive or negative. Right. 2/3 of our people, they want that negative attention from the Lord. You go get it.
I don't know they're still on top of that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Still on top of that nonsense, man.
Damn, I thought he was gone.
It's a warm day, brother. That's why it's a warm day. So
It's a warm day. He's down there just yelling their asses off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scaring people to death. You're supposed to threaten the people with the words you have, but they doing something else, though. You know what I'm saying? They probably got needles and everything down there. You know what I'm saying? Sitting on the table and shit. Oh, let me punch you like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Come over here and take this uppercut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got this quick precept. I was
gonna say, take it.
Right. Right. Because the man in general, your honor said take it. You know what I'm saying? Been teaching since 1969. Probably even born. I know. That's true.
Right.
That's true. Isaiah chapter 46, verse 13. I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off. And my salvation shall not tarry.
That's right. Oh, see, the Lord said, look, salvation, that's why Paul said, that salvation is near the believe.
Right.
Because the Lord said, what?
Bad scripture, right? Isaiah 46:13. I bring near my righteousness.
He said, I bring near my righteousness. What else, brother?
It says, it shall not be far off.
And it shall not be far off, man. And he said, what about the salvation?
And my salvation shall not tarry.
The salvation shall not prolong.
Somebody bookmark that. Bookmark that for Romans 13, chapter verse 11. Somebody bookmark that.
What's that?
This is Isaiah 46:13.
46 and 30.
Yeah. Bookmark that.
And that's fire right there, because look, the Lord said,
I got some more.
the Lord had Paul say, well, our salvation near the womb.
Right.
Because this is what his salvation will not be prolonged.
Right.
You know?
That's right. This is my salvation shall not tarry. So we ain't gonna be down here too much longer catching this hell. We ain't gonna be too much longer. Our back's gonna be aching and shit. You know what I'm saying? Our knees, our legs. It's gonna be too much more of this, man. Lord about to put an end to all this, man. Show you this last time, man. Lord about to put an end to all this suffering, man.
When the Lord takes the little street, that's what dude's gonna start flying.
Did we read that in did you finish Isaiah the 14th chapter?
No, I just read it once.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll read all the way down to at least 3 or 4. Some to the effect. After I read this. It says, and my salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion.
Whoa.
And I will place salvation in Zion.
Zion is just another name, code name, all right, side name, nickname for Israel.
Right.
You know? So he said his salvation shall be in Zion.
Right.
He didn't say his salvation shall be in Moab.
Right.
Or his salvation shall be in Ham.
Right.
No, he said his salvation shall be in
Go
Zion.
straight to the point, right?
The nation of Israel. Right.
Y'all make sure y'all bookmark that one, right? Just in case somebody say all nations can be saved. This is one of them straight ones.
Right. That's right.
This one of them. You go straight for the head.
That's right.
Don't even play. Go straight for the head. Don't even play.
Right.
It says and I will place salvation in Zion for Israel by glory.
For Israel. The Lord used a double name on
Right.
it. You know, he said Zion, and he's like, oh, okay, just in case you don't know who Zion is,
Right.
real fast, boot Israel.
There it is.
That's right.
That's it.
That's a precept to Acts, right? Acts.
That's a precept for Romans 13 and 11. That's a precept for shit. Everything.
45 and 17.
Yeah.
Acts, salvation is going for Israel. I think the men of Israel.
Yeah. Acts 2. Hear these words, 21 and 22. Yeah, many other scriptures. Any scripture you bring out pertaining to salvation, make sure you bring that out too. The neck. For the neck.
It's like, yeah, what?
She did it. You see how blind you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you ain't got no ass. You know what I'm saying? Those shit up nasty right there, man. You know, that was nasty right there. You know what I'm saying? Crack really kills. Crack really kills right there. You know? So where you was at? Didn't you read one already?
I read one.
You read 2 and then continue.
Isaiah 14 and 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall be.
Dog can't just slip wood. Dragging it, dog. We really need to put some fucking clothes on, though. Everybody got to show their horse ways, bro. It's all another subject.
Isaiah 14 and 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
We're going to have servants, man, slaves, man. Right? That is what we want.
Yes.
Look, we want servants, man. That's right. You wake up, people working on your. You know, you wake up just like the in a movie Coming to America. Coming to America.
Right.
I'm talking about the first one.
Yeah, right.
You know?
This nigga had balls back then. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is, man. So, I mean, the first one was alright, but I mean, still, once you get one, you gonna go from having a bread and all that, to the queen to get a four. They saying it's celebrity. So good! You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You do better than that, man. And then on part 2, so you stuck with a wildebeest.
Yeah,
on them
you
low.
lying.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen it in these shit. That's what I'm saying. You made that movie one of these. You know what I'm saying? You you was a royal prince. I'm saying you left a virgin to come sleep with a silverback. You know what I'm saying? And then with a woman that was in love with a dude that was sold. You know what I'm saying? You just have a bastard child. You know what I'm saying? It was on some old film. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm saying, if I go, my mama got to come too. You know what I'm saying? You know the truth, right, man? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know the truth, right? Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
It says, reading on Isaiah 14:2, it says, the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were.
What, they're going to take captives who captives they were. Who've been in slavery?
Right.
Not just on this, look, every nation under the sun.
We just heard that there's a woman who's going to take the king of all these people, you know what I'm saying? You know, take them through the ringer.
Right. Every nation has had their chance to have Israel enslaved. You know? Just for what? Just for this purpose of what? Right. We having all those that had us captive, we're going to have them captive.
Right.
But guess what? The base man is going to have the divorce. E-man. Okay? Sleazy E-man, he's going to get a divorce.
Right. Says, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
And we're going to rule over our oppressors. You know? That's Christian church don't bring this out. Christian's not going to tell you that truly in the kingdom of heaven, what the Israelites going to have slaves, man, because they don't want to believe that. They want to believe that everybody's going to be saved, but we've been bringing out what? Only salvation is for the nation of Israel. Now what? The nation of Israel, a company will be saved, but all these nations are going to be under their rulership. Okay? Right. We're starting with first of all, Lord Yahweh.
Go with it. We're having to drag their dogs. Go ahead, brother.
It says, verse 3, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
Rest from that. Because what? If you want to be here, I was thinking about this earlier, man. If you want to be here, something's really mentally wrong with you.
Remember we read earlier, you know what I'm saying, that Isaiah, the salvation, you know what I'm saying, will not tarry.
That's right.
It's going to come for Israel.
That's right.
So that's just right there, say he's going to give Israel rest.
That's right.
From thy hard bondage. From thy sorrow.
That's right. Look, we're in a soft, pitiful case right now. Our people are all joined up. You know, brothers are seeing that. I don't know if the camera caught it. Our people about that.
Yeah, I feel bad out here, man.
It's getting bad, and you look at it, you be like, damn, that's how did we get to this point, man?
You heard Jake smoking these cigarettes is a demon. Same way you had somebody for a life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So these cigarettes will put demons on you. You're going to ask somebody for a life. Man.
Yeah, we're in a soft case with the clothes.
What do you women love black though, man? You women love all black though, right? They be witches on you. You know what I'm saying? You know. I mean, they try to wear black though, man. They do, right? They love shit dark, man. You know what I'm saying?
It says, and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
And so what? We were made to serve in hard bondage. The Lord's going to take us out of this condition. For those that, you know, they hear this, look, man, we got something better to look forward to.
All right.
You know, this ain't just the end all be all, man. You won't be like this in America. We got to work at the 9 to 5.
Right.
You got to break your back. You only get one day up. And the Lord says, screw all that, man. All right, the men of the Lord are like, screw all that. We want the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, where it said we're going to be in peace.
That's why you're going to be walking around with no mask on.
That's right.
You know.
Coach, man, got wearing 2 masks now. This shit is, you can barely breathe, man, on the first.
You better can breathe without a mask.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, you got one more?
No, just keep it away.
Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart.
That's right.
For this is not your rest.
It says, arise ye and depart. We're talking about mentally and spiritually, man. All right, because the Lord's going to take us out to some place physically. So mentally, up here in the mind, and spiritually, come out of this place, man. Okay, stop worshiping and doing the things and rolling with the punches of this world.
If I could just say, it said, this is not your rest. We just read where we're going to get rest from.
They're here.
We're going to get rest when we get to our homeland.
That's right.
When the Lord take us there, you know?
That's why we're paying in the work now so we can get rest later.
Right.
Because this place is not the place to be resting. You think you get your 401k, but you saw cut you off right on your last year.
Right.
You know? See, with the plan of the Lord, we're workers of Yahweh by Shema Shai, servants, employees of the Lord, man. The Lord has a great retirement plan for us, man.
Right. He said he ain't gonna forget your working labor of love.
That's right. You know? So the Lord's gonna retire us nicely clean, man. Lord's gonna be a part of that. You get retirement with a crown. Come on, man.
Permanent vacation.
Yeah, permanent vacation. You know?
It says, Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
This is not your rest. This is not who you want to be for the eternity. Man.
It says, because it is polluted.
It is polluted. Everything in this place is polluted. It's filthy. Right? It's not pure. Everything in this place is tainted, man. Right? Whether it be your food, your clothing, your water, your woman. Okay? Everything in this place, man. Even the stuff that people believe in is polluted, man. You know? Everything.
You got people who walk across the light and say to the thing, and them girls right there, they just stand in the light and say you cross it. It's like they know ain't no cars coming. Everybody has to walk out and they just standing there. I'm like, this place is polluted. You hear that, bro?
It says, it shall destroy you, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction.
Even with a sword destruction. You see our people who trust in this kingdom, all right? The Lord is showing us that what they're catching in hell because they put their trust in this kingdom and they're being destroyed slowly by that sword. It's a sword destruction, man. Like slow agonizing, you're slowly fading out. Come on, man. All right, but we're not looking for this place. What? We're out of this place spiritually, mentally. The Lord will take us out.
Filthy, dirty, easy, bro. You don't want to spend the money. Let's get this, though. You finish that, bro. This is Amos chapter 7, verse 17. Therefore, thus it says the land is polluted, right?
That's right.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city.
Look, man,
You
that's
just
why.
say that?
Yeah. Hey,
You
man.
just say that,
Yeah,
bro?
right. The spirit, yeah. And we're seeing it. Man, the more it get hot, we see it more.
Right.
You know. But hey,
It's the
man,
worst time to be in a relationship, man.
I know, right?
Summertime.
Yeah, it is.
I was dealing with her nagging ass. Was they want you to take her somewhere? Wanted to be seen, he almost failed. You know what I'm saying? He right to the front. Almost tripped. He was saying, this place true, boy. Yeah. Pay attention. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai, thy wife shall be in the harlot in the city.
polluted.
That's what Michael just said, ain't it?
That's right. You gonna put your trust in society, man. It's gonna bug you out, man.
Right.
See the video after video of men, especially from last week. Where are you going to NBA, All-Star weekend? Why are you getting all this stuff, crying this stuff?
Right.
Fruit.
I hate to say that.
I'm a visit my aunt.
Yeah.
Right.
Stilettos or whatever you want to call them shit. Heels and all that.
Right.
Visiting my aunt. Your aunt didn't see you with all that on
I
there?
know, right? I know, you want to see your aunt stay down. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this fucking idiot.
Hey, yo, they bold as hell, man. Big dumbass. Yeah,
They
people
still
are not
going.
giving a damn.
Yeah. He like fucking, he don't see the other cars coming? These fucking devils really bad. This devil ain't even giving a damn. This devil ain't giving a damn. This devil ain't giving a damn. He had that prideful look on his face, right? Look at her almost fucking failed. She had that bust on her ass. Trying to be all remember the Lord had many people fall in this country out here, man. Bust their ass, man. Straight up, man. People had to get helped up off the ground.
Yeah.
Thy wife shall be in the harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword.
They getting shot down like crazy.
Y'all see that video I sent y'all of that woman that's like running back to the car, running back to our car, and the car was like, put the gun down, put the gun down. This ain't no, she blazed at the car, you know? She had a semi-automatic or something. And the cop lit off too, then, you know?
Yeah, he let off, I think he got her one time.
No, he got her, hell yeah.
And she's still resilient though, that NW resilience. She
Yeah,
backed
you
up.
mustn't see the whole video.
I did, she shot her window out.
No, she was trying to close the door. She was trying to get in the car and they started shooting at each other. That's ain't enough. She pulled off being shot. Yeah. She ended up crashing like later on down the street.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You gotta watch the whole video, bro. It's It says, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword.
That's right.
And thy land shall be divided by lime, and thou shalt die in a polluted land.
People
Didn't it say this land polluted?
Yeah.
You shall die in a polluted land.
Yeah, hey man, our people are dying here, man, like crazy, man. It's gonna get even worse, man. All right,
Remember, it said this is not our rest.
Yep.
We're gonna die in a polluted land. Put your trust in this place.
That's right. Man, that's
It says, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land.
That's right. That's what happened to us, man. A lot of people would be dying in this, man. If you want to trust in society, man, you gonna die here.
Right.
All right, but if you trust in the Lord's gonna make sure you make it out.
Right.
You know, the Lord's will. That's what we're pushing for, man. All right, is to make it out this place, man. We don't want to be here when this place is just that icing on the cake, high-speed thermonuclear missile.
Right.
We want to be beamed up in the chariot while everybody else is burning, man.
One more precept. Jeremiah 51:6.
Saying that I got 51 and 45. You got 6 though.
Sure. And then you can jump to 45. Jeremiah 51:6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
That's right.
And deliver every man his soul.
That's right. That's about what? Up here. And spiritually, man. You know? Flee out of Babylon first, it got to be up here, man. Alright? The Lord's gonna do everything physically, man. We're doing this spiritually and mentally, man. Getting that guck out the mind, man.
It says that shall deliver thy own soul.
And deliver every man his own soul.
His own soul. Now she was saying in Ezekiel 33 says he that take heed to the prophets will deliver his own soul.
That's right.
You know, you take heed to the prophets, the Lord said, oh, that's how you're gonna flee out of the midst of Babylon, by coming back to your power.
Well, what, you know, how did the Lord have us become prophets? By taking heed to other prophets, you know?
Right.
You know, the 144,000, you know, they were men that heard other men of the Lord.
Right.
And the Lord made them men of the Lord.
That's right.
And made more men of the
Right.
Lord.
Right. And the tradition goes on.
Right.
It says, and deliver every man's soul.
Right.
Be not cut off in her iniquity.
Don't be cut off in iniquity, because the Lord is going to bring this place down. That's why in Revelation 18 says, Babylon the Great has fallen.
Right.
Has fallen, man.
Right.
The nations seen her and was bewailed of her.
Right.
You know, because this place is going to fall, man. If you want to be trusted with it, go hand join in hand. The wicked shall not go unpunished, man. You know?
It says, be not cut off in her iniquity.
That's right.
This place wicked as hell.
That's right.
Don't be cut off in her wickedness, man.
That's right.
You know?
What? Because the scripture says, what evil doers should be cut off.
Right.
You know?
That's right. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance.
That's what we're living in, evil times, man.
Right.
When the Lord's going to bring his wrath upon the earth, man. You don't want to be caught up in that, man.
Right.
You know, that man, I tell you, that wrath is something else, man.
Right.
All right.
It's going to be something else, too,
Right.
man.
That's right. Said it won't tarry long.
That's right.
It says, he will render unto her a recompense.
The Lord said what? He's going to reward her unto her company. Yeah. Right? You don't want to be caught up in the first part of her judgment, man. All right? You know? Which is what being all these calamities to come. All right? Because we're seeing little ounces of calamities. Famine, pestilence, all this stuff happening, people dying. This and man, this is the first parts of America going down, man. Then what? Then the icing on the cake is the worst one.
Right.
It was the icing, when the missiles drop, it's a wrap, man. You know? Seeing mushroom clouds, you know, my papa told me, man, once you see a cloud, it's a wrap. If you can see a cloud, like really see it, it's a wrap.
Right.
You finished, man.
Right.
You got 10 seconds, man.
Right. You got 10 seconds. It ain't enough time to pray. That's enough time to say the Lord's name, though. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You gotta know it.
That's right.
You gotta know it. You gotta know it.
Better start looking up, man.
Right. I know that's right. You got 10 seconds. What are you going to do in the last 10 seconds of your life? What are you going to do? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, have mercy upon me. Please, 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 please. Lord, one of you might get beamed up.
That's right.
But you better do something, though.
That's right.
You got 10 seconds. The Lord give you 10 seconds. You better do something within
right.
10 seconds.
That's right. That's
You know, you better not call on God and Christ bless. I know that.
That's right. That's right.
You know, you better not call on Allah, Buddha, sense of real, or none of that nonsense. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai all day. 10 seconds, man. Don't take you 2 seconds to say that.
Yeah, I just saw it in my head. I feel, you got one man call upon the true name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, get beamed up. A chariot is hovering over and he get beamed up. A chariot hovering over and the other dude, oh yeah, God in Christ bless. Oh, and he's like, no. Chariot's like, oh. No.
Right. I know, right, bro? Wrong name. You know what I'm saying? But you got to know the code.
Yeah.
Know the code. Wrong name. Let's say you know a damn missile come through. Boom! Go the whole damn house.
You messed up 10 seconds and you messed up.
Right.
Yep. Jeremiah 51:45. It says, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord.
Yeah. Come out this place, man. That's why we tell people to repent, turn back to the God of the Bible, and help us, because this place is about to go out in a grievous manner, man. You know, because look, man, brothers went to something. You know, for all the BS that brothers got to go through, got to see, got to experience, man. No, we want this place to be out yesterday, man. But what? Everything's in a perspective time of the Lord, man. You understand that? But when the Lord bring it, boy, it's gonna be happy times. You know? It's gonna be bad times for these people, evil, but it'll be happy times for those that trust in the Lord, man. They know the truth.
Reads on, verse 46.
The security guards be knowing what's going on, man. They be walking through, because they can't stay in here, man. Because there be other people like standing on them buildings or whatever, watching them to see what they, because I remember years ago, a security guard dude used to stand out here and listen or whatever. He used to agree, then, somebody reported him standing, listening to us or whatever. He ended up getting fired. He was one of their best security guards. They walked around the city or whatever, make sure there wasn't no fights, no robberies, and things, make sure things are pretty much in order. They went in and fired him. We see him like months later, like a year later, like, yo, bro, where you been, bro? He's like, yo, they got rid of me, man. Somebody reported me standing there listening to y'all and shit. So the security guards be knowing what we saying. That's what they be like, hey, I can't even stand there and listen to it because somebody fucking watching. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta just keep it moving. He's not sitting down listening to those guys, you know what I'm saying?
Just get an earful of
that. And I think it was somebody, like in things up in them areas right there, watching the other security guard at that time. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even know it. That's what we used to keep like right there. Before that building right there got built, I was just in that building right there. You know what I'm saying? The security guard used to come down there. You know what I'm saying? Listen or whatever. Somebody was standing up there and reported his ass. Fired him and everything. Shit him like a year later. Yo, what's good, bro? He's like, yeah, somebody reported me standing there listening to y'all. So that's why these security guards should be running through like nodding their head like, y'all
get an earful real fast.
Y'all that's why they be walking real slow. They be walking kind of fast, but as soon as they get right there, they be like, you still gotta keep it moving. You get a little sound bite. So they try to stay for a long period of time to somebody report. Ain't that crazy though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 45, or 51 and 46, it says, and let your heart faint, and least your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land.
That's pretty much.
Jeremiah 50 and 4, it says, in those days and in that time, says the Lord, the children of Israel shall come.
What's that one? What's that one on B.S. Pilgrims? Somebody get that. I mean, finish what you got, you know what I'm saying, but after that, somebody type in B.S. Pilgrims.
It says, Jeremiah 50 and 4, and in those days, and in that time, says the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord their power.
That's right. That's the elected nation of Israel, man. Of all the tribes, man. They're gonna what? They're gonna be coming back weeping to Yahweh. That's what the Lord said. What? He hears what? The sighs and cries.
Yeah. Those when they forehead.
That's right. So look, he hears the ones that actually crying to the Lord, man. You got the elected nation of Israel actually crying to the Lord to get this. So, get me the hell up out of here, man.
Right.
Please. I'm begging you, man. Get me the hell up out of here. Lord, please, I can't take it. I'm gonna go crazy up in here.
Right.
Please, let me, please get me out of here, man. That's the number of the Lord. That's what they're saying in their minds, man. When they're praying to the Lord, man, and out loud, man.
That's why I say the wings are crying without.
Yes, right.
She uttered her voice in the streets, command the Lord on the streets, man. Sign and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, man. And the Lord is their prayers have came into the ears of the Lord,
right?
By way of the angels.
That's why the Spirit does say, if you call yourself being in the truth, and you want to be here longer,
right?
You're not in the truth,
right? Just because you get a damn stimulus check or income tax check shouldn't make you want to stay here any longer, man. I mean, if you get a check, so be it, but at the same time, still supposed to be signing and crying, begging and pleading to the Lord and hastening the coming, man. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much money you get, man, no matter if somebody left you an inheritance, I'm saying a couple of acres, a couple of mil, shit, what the fuck, you still an Israelite in hell? That's right. You're an Israelite in hell with $1 million, what that mean? Somebody might take your head off, they find out you got that money, you be tied up some damn well, praying for the Lord to hurry up and get you out of here. You should have been doing that. That's right. Thought $1 million was gonna make your life better. No, man.
True men of the Lord, no matter money, right, for the true believers, no matter money is gonna change how they feel for life. I can get $100,000, Lord's will. Like, man, brothers, ties, let's get the hell up out of here, man. Let's go to camp, prophesy, you know. That's the mind frame that the men of the Lord had now. You know, they have the mind frame. I don't care what I got, man. I'm still praying to the Lord to get up out of here, man.
Verse 5 says, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
What covenant of old, man? Let's go back to how the Lord said that we're supposed to be, man. You know what? What's that scripture that says, looking towards the old paths? Like 16, okay? You know? Look, we're looking back to the old paths. Let's get together, like, hey, brothers, we need to seek the Lord, man. You know? That's in the spirit. That's what brothers doing, man. Brothers, after you learn, hey, buddy, you gotta go out, man. You gotta teach, man. Yeah. You gotta go out and gather, you know, our people, the elected nation of Israel, and you know, preach the Lord so we can get up out of here, man. And that's why we're doing this, man, so we can get the hell up out of here, get that chance, have a seat in the chariot, man. Okay? Because we don't want to be here no more. Right.
Old school. Need you to hold the camera.
It reads on, verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
That's right, on some rock.
It's our people are lost, man.
Get that one about pilgrims too.
Our people are lost, man, thinking that the way to be in America is the way to be, and it's not, man. Right? All right, the way of America has polluted our people, and our people are completely lost, man. They don't know what to do, man. Thinking that doing TikTok challenges and you know, having a woman run out naked, man, and you being a feminine man is the way to go, man. And it's not, man. Okay? This is not the way to live, man. The Lord is going to extinguish this place. All right.
You speak a rock.
Lord is going to, you know, right now we're in this place as pilgrims, man. This is not our final place, man. Because we read earlier that what? The place is not our rest, man. So what? We're in this place as pilgrims. A pilgrim migrants, man. He's not settling no more. We're not settling in this place of America.
Right. Second Ezra 16 and 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Verse 40, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those days be even as pilgrims upon the earth. You know, if I can just say, you're going to have, we went into the different end time prophecies in 2 Matthew 24th chapter. That's right. Famine, uproars of people, pestilences, wars, evil times, you know, all that, and it's gonna continue to take place across the earth. That's right. So knowing these things, how do you get ready for the battle, you Israelites? You know, you first and foremost, you gotta draw nigh to the Lord. You gotta inquire about the Lord, repent, and seek the Lord, fear the Lord. And then you have to have the mindset that, like a pilgrim, you're not gonna be deeming the things that you have, the possessions you have. You know, you're not gonna as valuable. You're not gonna look to hold on to these things, man. Your house, your car, your money, whatever, man. Because you ain't taking that with you to the kingdom anyway.
That's right.
It's not permanent. It's temporary. So anything that's temporary, you don't really latch on to it.
Yeah, that's right.
But we know that what? The kingdom of heaven is something that we can't see, but it's eternal. It's permanent. You know? So we latch on to that because after the kingdom of heaven is established, it's never going on. Right. Unlike America, it was established and it's going to be done away with. You know?
Verse 41, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away.
You know, he that selleth, you're a merchant that sells things, man. You know, don't look at your sales like that, man. It's like that. Don't invest into what you got. Yeah, long term, man.
It says that he that buyeth as one that will lose.
All right, look, I just bought a house, man. Man, that house is gonna burn.
Right?
That house is gonna burn, man. At the end of the day, you know?
It goes into that. Verse 42, he that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein.
That's right. You know, you go to build a house and come to find out, damn, I can't live in it.
Right.
I gotta flee.
And that goes to show you, you got men of Israel, you know, false prophets trying to build communities, you know, buying land and all that, not realizing they're not going to be able to dwell in those houses. And they're not in the right mindset as pilgrims that we're supposed to be in these times. Right?
You know what makes total madness? Because what? You got some of them that say America's going to be destroyed, but then still is trying to build a community here in America.
Man, that is true.
So, Negro, that means your community is going to be destroyed
Right.
too.
That's right.
Know?
That's right.
You know, I say it like that because you got, you know, Joe and Jake, you know, they're being a nigga at that moment. You know?
That's right.
They're having a nigga moment.
Right.
And so like, nah, bro, that don't make no damn sense.
In fact, it says, verse 43, he that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth a vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes.
Yeah, man, you're not gonna be there when it's, you know, when it's so cold, right, man? Because by that time, we're gonna be out of here, man. So to speak, man. And you know, analogy terms, man. Well, it takes a little while for them fruit to even grow, and then what? You know, actually get ripe. So what? That's gonna take time. We don't got much time in this piece of America.
That's right.
The last seconds, the last days, man.
That's right.
And if the Lord blesses you with, you know, certain things, certain brothers get blessings on this side, but you don't worship it. You don't.
That's right.
Fall for it and think that this is going to be your rest. Because at the end of the day, the Lord is giving you that, but this is going to be temporary here. Everything
Very.
the Lord is giving us, you got to keep focusing on the kingdom.
That's right.
That's why we pray for that. And it was King Solomon that said, "Give me what's that's good for me." Basically, you know?
Oh yeah, come on.
Don't give me, you know, don't give me poverty nor riches, man. You know, just sustain me. That's all we're asking for. So when the Lord gives brothers blessing, that's really just to sustain you for the time being. It's not what for you to try to thrive here in America.
Right.
Always remember that.
Right.
That's right.
Hebrews 11 and 13. These all die in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off.
Ancient forefathers, they what the Lord told them the promises, and they died in the faith, believing that they were going to eventually get it.
And were persuaded of them and embraced them and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
That's right. Strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
It says, St. Matthew 6 and 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth.
Yep.
Where the moth and rust do corrupt.
So don't lay treasures, you know, treasure is something that you don't dare be close to, you know, that you value. Don't have the things that you truly value be the things that are really on this earth. Okay? This is where moth and rust do corrupt, right? I mean, what? They eventually break down. Metals, they get rusted, all right? They become valueless. Right? It said moth, correct? You know, moth really eats on clothing. So you might get the new what's it called? Dior, goddamn Michael Kors.
Right.
And moth is gonna eat that, man. So it's gonna wither away, man.
Well, the Lord said that everything shall melt with fervent heat.
Yeah, that's
So all the elements that you see in America is going, all that's going to melt. It's going, I mean, like you're going to your Gucci belt and all that you know, upholding these. You know, Jake, how they doing the videos.
Yeah.
Their Gucci belt and their nice Fendi shirts or whatever they wear.
Yeah.
All these nice cars that they have, all that's going to melt with fervent heat on this side, man.
That's right.
You know, it says, where moth and rust do it corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal.
That's right.
Verse 20, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
That's right, man. So nobody, lay up your treasures in heaven. Have all your value in the kingdom of heaven in the scriptures.
Yeah.
right? Because the kingdom of heaven is right here.
Yep.
Okay? Have all your value there because that, when we talk about the kingdom of heaven is eternal.
Yep.
So having your value in the kingdom of heaven, you know, in a place that's going to be what? Forever. All right? Instead of a place that's only temporary, which is place is here. Right? This place is going to go out, and whatever you have here that you value is going to burn up also. Right? But if you have things that you value in the kingdom of heaven, that kingdom is going to be established forever, and whatever you have in the kingdom of heaven says is going to be established forever.
That's right. A man that's a pilgrim, he's gonna and it's in the spirit is of Yahweh Shemel Shai. He's not gonna have much on this side. If he does have things that the Lord bless him with on this side, he's gonna be willing to lose it all. But he's gonna be storing up true riches in heaven, man. Storing up treasures in heaven. He doesn't care about
Like,
things on this
he's
side.
thankful that he has it, but he truly doesn't. A man can have a nice car, name the Lord. But that thing break down, I'm like, shit, I get a hoop.
Right.
He don't care. These things don't matter because it's all gonna be wasted away.
That's right.
You know? The real things that matter is the kingdom of heaven, which is gonna be eternal. Right? You know, you might lose a woman on your side. So what, man? You know, yeah, it might. You know, of course, we're in the flesh. You might be like, damn. You know, it's just being real, but you might be like, damn, that kind of sucked. Like, damn, why it had to happen like that? Guess what? In the kingdom of heaven, you go, man, you're not even worried about that, bro. You know. So don't, you know, so really look upon what's the true important things.
It said the thing that you see now are temporary. Great. You know what I'm saying? And you that do the will of your house, but you know, shot about it forever. That's great. Pretty much roughly paraphrasing. What is that in? Oh, no, I know what it said. I got it. I'm going to bring this up real quick. Did y'all get the definition of a pilgrim?
No.
No, we didn't get definition, but we did read this.
Yeah, get that definition, brother. Are you getting that off of this? This is 1 John 2. I'm going to go straight to the point. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. And he that doeth the will of Yahweh Bashinah Shai abideth forever.
See, this world that we see is going to pass away. All this is going to be gone forever. Right, but the man that does the will of Yahweh Bashinah Shai, he's going to dwell forever, man. He's going to live forever. He ain't going to die. Okay? Yeah. The definition of pilgrim, it comes from the Latin word.
What was in the Old Testament?
It was an edge.
What?
I don't know if you did.
Yeah, get the etymology of the word. Let's see what that says.
It says pilgrim. It comes from that word peregrinus. It says foreign. It says the person who travels on long journeys.
This ain't your home. You know what I'm saying? A foreigner knows what it means. This ain't your home. You're foreign to your land. It's not your rest. You're pilgrim. Go ahead.
It says a person who travels on long journeys.
You're traveling. We're just traveling through. You know what I'm saying? This is not our river. We're just traveling through. You know what I'm saying? You sit for a moment. You know what I'm saying? I know because I about that.
It says the etymology is it says pilgrim was a noun from the 12th century. It says a person traveling to a holy place.
Right. So that's what we're looking forward to. Traveling, getting the hell up out of here. Because look, Michael 2:10, everything else we're reading, we have read, is not our rest. We're looking forward to traveling to a holy place, because this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? A new heaven and a new earth is one of righteousness, and the former shall not be remembered. That's right. Get your other phone. Get your other phone. So you got to type it in that new verse. It's like that Bible app.
Okay,
It's another. Put the word in Isaiah.
There's another definition of pilgrim. It says someone who journeys to a sacred place as an act of religious devotion.
Right, wow.
Hey, we're devoted to this word, man.
Right.
All right, so look, we're in the act spiritually of what? Walking to that, to what? As you say, is what? That path.
Right.
You know, of difficulty.
Right.
So when you're on that path or that journey to a sacred place, you know, the kingdom of heaven, you know, by what? Your devotion to the Lord.
Right. What devotion being committed, right? That to be committed. Right? Totally committed to a cause or a belief. But
They get the one in Isaiah.
In fact, this is what you said in the spirit. It says devotion, right? Someone who's devoted is someone profound, says profound religious emotion, someone pious to have a piety devoted. Right? It says down with, devotion, feelings of adamant love. So someone who truly loves the Lord is going to be a pilgrim on this side.
You're going to devote the most majority of your time to a certain have a child, not conforming to this world. You know, a pilgrim is not conformed to that area that he's in. He's just there for a second, he's getting the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying?
And he's not getting used to it.
Yeah.
Because once you get used to it, you get, like say, you get comfortable.
You're comfortable, yeah.
No, we're not comfortable.
You gotta stay on the move, man. You get comfortable too long in a certain spot, the enemy come up on your ass. When you come to the move, the enemy can't go sit there. He gone already. I get ready to run up on him. You know what I'm saying? He done moved already. You move to another spot.
Right.
Constantly on the move. On the go.
We're doing that spiritual,
Right.
We're not comfortable in this place, man. And mentally, man, we're not comfortable in this place, man. Right? That's why you gotta always go back to the scriptures to make you. If you see somebody sleeping, like, I understand that, but you better read the scriptures.
I know that's right.
You thinking this ain't that
Dive
bad.
on in.
Man, you better dive in.
You see a bad woman, so it ain't even so bad after all. You gotta get back to scripture. So tell her you'll see her next week and get to the scripture. We need to get to the scripture all week. That's what the scripture your pure mind by way of remembrance. Right? Don't forget you in hell.
Right. That's right.
This place will rock you guys.
Right.
It
Yeah.
sure will.
Let us not
Yes,
sleep
it
with
will.
others. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. Finish it together, Rob.
Isaiah 65:17. That's what
Yeah.
For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth.
That's what the pilgrims are looking for. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're searching for. We're seeking for a new heaven and a new earth. That's right. We know this one was wicked, but we know this was polluted. We read all kind of precepts proving that.
It said new heavens, new earth. What?
It says, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind.
What? You're looking for a new heavens and new earth. Well, then righteousness. So what? That righteousness is what that sacred place of the Lord.
Right. Yep.
And that's what we want the sacred and that sacred, that holy place, man.
Right.
Which is the kingdom of heaven.
Right. It says, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind, meaning the former slavery where we were being oppressed. These pilgrims had to keep moving.
We believe also we gotta come out with our wild word. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? See the world that came to me. So you gotta come out your house when you don't want to. Put your wife wearing some on BS. You know what I'm saying? You can't even say, yo, you can take that shit off, bro. Put on something more suitable and proper. See, so when we came back, you know, except for where we was at, two people that was behind that, halfway to that. It ain't even hot like that. You don't even want to imagine how they gonna be really dressing when June, July hit. You know? It's one of the worst times to have a woman, man. You know how she gonna be dressing. She gotta show them TTs, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The TNTs, you know what I'm saying, bro? You gotta show them TNTs, you know what I'm saying? You know, and everything else. But 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 6, you finished with that, all right?
Yep.
It says, therefore, let us not sleep. We pilgrims, right? Don't get comfortable. Let us not sleep as others do.
That's right. Let us not sleep as others do, man. Because this place will rock you back to sleep, man.
Right.
You be comfortable in this place.
Right.
No, man. You need to see what the scriptures say about this place, man. I bet you won't be comfortable.
Right.
Man. Oh, this place is gonna be destroyed. How? What's gonna be happening to this month, man?
Right. Watch the news. Watch the news every day. That shit'll wake your ass up. You know what I'm saying?
That's why people say they don't watch the news.
Right.
They get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know,
Too much bad stuff happens.
Man, that's prophecy though.
Right.
You know? So what? If you get comfortable,
You occupy the prophecy, right?
Those that occupy the prophecy ain't gonna be comfortable.
Right. Therefore, let us not sleep as others do.
That's right.
But let us watch and be sober.
Let us watch the times, knowing the time that we're living in. You know, that's high time to wake out of sleep, man. Instead of watching what?
It says, let us therefore watch and be sober.
And be sober-minded. Be sober up here, man. All right? Don't let this place start to influence.
Don't let this place destroy you.
That's right. Because once this place gets the influence, and you little influence in these days, feel being possessed or filled with the spirit of, you know, it's open, man. You know, because this place is gonna work these seasons, man. Right. You know, we're praying that the Lord keeps His Holy Spirit and influence on us.
Romans 12:2 And be not conformed to this world.
Right.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Don't be conformed with this world, man. Because word conformed means to fashion yourself after.
Right.
Okay? Your actions are going to be fashioned after this place, man. If you're seeking after this place.
Right.
If you're comfortable with this place. But conform yourself into the sun.
You're going to start saying, it ain't all that bad. There is some good ones. You know what I'm saying? Alphabet people. You know what I'm saying? And the sleazy E's. You know what I'm saying? There is some good ones. They're going to be there and give you a raise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, bonus check and all that. You didn't forget about what the Lord say, all that. That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Like I say, one of the things that Jake does now is
Come on, some girls in the other do that.
one of the things one of the things that Jake does too is like when it comes to like the sodomy and everything, they're like, yeah, that's it, like it ain't, because they don't conform to the ways of the world.
Right.
They done got comfortable and, you know, so that's their life. You know? Can I bring the definition right now?
Yes.
Conform, it says, of a person behaving according to socially accepted conventions or standards.
Yeah, you're fashioning yourself after the world, man. The Lord said, be not conformed to this world, man. Okay? And this place is going to cause you to be destroyed, man.
Right.
2/3 of our people conform to the world, which is going to cause their death and destruction.
Right.
And we're conforming ourselves to the image of the Son.
Right.
That's Scripture says.
See? So going right back, Romans chapter 12, verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, which is full of darkness and wickedness, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh.
That's right.
How much you know?
Don't be conformed to this world, but conform yourself into the ways of the Lord. Transform yourself and fashion yourself after the ways of Yahweh.
Come back to normalcy, which is this word.
That's right.
This is when you get back in tune with the words of Yahweh, but you know, that's you actually being normal.
That's right.
We went into that word.
That's right. We're out of whack right now.
You know,
Our people out of whack. Our people out of whack right now. All right,
remember when we go to the word and grafted? You know what I'm saying? We go into being normal. Receiving meekness, being grafted word. You know what I'm saying? You go back to being normal again, fine. You know what I'm saying? Get engrafted right quick, bro. Just the fact check that. I think when we look it up, it goes back to being normal, right? I remember that. Yeah. Get that right quick. Matter of fact, while you doing it, I'll get I'm gonna get. I remember one of y'all just said just now. It might have been you or Rob. That's real life and all. Okay, I got something. The Lord always got something, son. This is Romans chapter 1, verse let's see. Bear with me. I'm gonna go straight to the point.
25 or something.
32. Romans 1:32. Who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, and not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So if regardless if you're a partaker of that crime, if you agree and you don't got no problem with them committing that crime or that act, and we know what they're talking about, just read up some. You know what I'm saying? Then you're guilty of that crime and damn self.
Yep. I got it. It says in grab, right? It says fix.
Right. To be normal. Right? If something is fixed, it's normal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It says to set securely to set securely or deeply.
Right, because it won't set properly. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you have to come and fine tune it. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has to come and fine tune us. Set us in order. You know what I'm saying? Set us up properly. Through this word.
It says to embed or to plant
right.
or implant.
Right, to plant or implant.
That's crazy.
So basically, you know what I'm saying, what I was going into to be normal.
Right.
We looked it up in I don't know if it was Anthemon, you know what I'm saying? What is that called, by Anthemon?
Yeah, this is my Anthemon.
And look dictionary.com and see what it says. And I'm gonna get that scripture. Are you doing all that? I get the scripture. This is This is James chapter 2. Am I right?
I think this is it.
James 2.
1 and
Oh yeah, 1, yeah. 1 and 21. I'm gonna read the scripture and you can bring out the definition. James chapter 1, verse 21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of godliness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word.
Okay. All right, we got the definition of engraft. There's 2 words I really want to focus on. It says implanted by nature, and then it says inborn.
Going back to being how it's supposed to have been.
Yep.
Being normal.
nature.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep.
And natural.
Natural.
You know what I'm saying?
Inborn.
Tell the Lord, you know what I'm saying? We put wisdom on us, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell the Lord said, you know what I'm saying? I give wisdom, man.
Right.
Matter of fact, give me Sirach 11 and 15. Above the shot. We're about to wrap it up, but if you get it, right?
The other definition, inborn, right? You go into that word, it says natural to a person or animal existing from birth.
Right. Going back to being, what was that word I used earlier?
Natural.
Normal, yeah.
That of nature.
Right.
But when you step out your nature, then that's when you're not acting yourself.
Right.
You're not moving.
Right. Yeah. Like you see a fucking dog, no saying. You see a dog, no saying, talking from me.
I know, right?
Right. He's not normal. He's not acting normal. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know, you see a cat barking. Ain't not normal about that. You know?
Right.
That's weird, man.
Right.
You see a man with a, that's not normal.
Right.
Don't see a woman with a, that's not normal. Read between the lines.
Right.
You see a man with a woman, that's being normal. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You see a man walking uprightly, that's being normal.
Right.
The Lord got us being normal again, man. We was off, man.
Yeah, we were.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know,
got the opposite of being weird. Right? I just fit in good, right?
Right.
Opposite of being weird. It says the opposite of weird is normal.
He said it was weird to say that.
Being weirdo, right?
Right.
That's weird, man. Or another one says being ordinary. How we supposed to.
Right. Yeah, call for Sirach.
Yeah,
Sirach
Sirach
11 and 15.
15?
Yeah, bring me that right
It
quick.
says Sirach 11 and 15, and it reads, it says, wisdom,
And I'm going to go right back to this. Go ahead.
wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of Yahweh Bashim.
See? So the Lord knows that putting that wisdom in us to make us normal again. So you know fear you have, but you know shot this is being normal. You know what I'm saying? Because the opposite of normal is being weird.
That's right.
A weird thing, like Israel, not the people.
Right.
The other nations look at us like, damn, they'll remember he split the sea on? Right. What the hell?
Because what do Jake do when they see something weird? That face, they're like, what the hell is
Right.
You know, it's not, because it was normal, we'd be like, oh yeah, he's doing his thing.
Right. They try to make this wickedness be normal though. So when you look at it like, oh, that's normal. No, it's not.
That's
What we're
right.
doing now is normal, man. No, it's not.
That's right.
Well, the Lord said He created us to be a special people unto Himself. When
Right.
He created us to be a nation of fear Him.
Yeah.
No?
I remember the Lord said I came a new day in the earth. What's that? One shall back. And we're seeing right now, you know what I'm saying? It's from old time, but it's new again in the earth. That's all this wickedness, all this lewdness. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said He created a new thing. This is from back past. This right here is not normal. Old school. Shalom. Shalom, bro. Go ahead.
It says, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of Yahweh Bashim.
Right.
Love in the way of good works are from Him.
See? So what we're doing right about now is it's ordained by Yahweh Bashim.
That's right.
I mean, these people look at us like we weird as hell, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're normal.
right,
But then we
right.
look at them, we like, yo, they weird as hell, but they ain't normal. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy right now, right?
They really weird.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't normal about how they act,
Right.
right? A woman walking around with all breasts and everything else out, you know what I'm saying? It's not normal.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know.
Right.
See, two dudes holding hands, that's weird. That's not normal.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to lead to fire. You know what I'm saying?
Pink hair,
You
blue
know,
hair.
right.
Weird.
Right. You know what I'm saying? A dude walking on the street showing his crack and every damn thing else, and his shit is drawn is not normal. These dudes be walking, it's like, man, you don't know shit is on you, ain't check your drawers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't check your damn drawers. Your drawers got shit on it, man. I remember somebody had a video, you know what I'm saying? They walking around this dude and this girl, and the dude fucking had shit all in his drawers. You can't tell her shit. You cannot tell her shit.
That girl like that. It's not that girl on that beam stepping up to 2000.
Yeah, you can't tell her nothing, man. That woman just walked past with that orange on, kind of like orange and red, kind of like mud, kind of like color. Yeah, you can't tell her nothing. Yo, she high stepping for the night. Right. But that's normal though, right? A woman coming through, you know what I'm saying, with stretch pants on, with a thong on, even no drawers, that's normal now. And they look at us weird, you know what I'm saying, when we condemn it.
Right, that's right.
Oh, okay. Well, let's read this though. Y'all feel the definition?
That's right.
Anybody got anything y'all want to end up on? This is James chapter 1, verse 21. Wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, right? And receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul.
Receive this word because it's able to save your soul.
Right.
And this engrafted word, this word is going to make you one more.
Right.
Okay? Because the Lord wants more.
How people look at the Lord like, I don't want to be Lord. You know what I'm saying, bro? I love the weird shit. That's how people look at us, man. That's how they speak towards the Lord, man. But they say that was old time. People don't think like that no more. A woman got the right to do whatever she wants to. The man got the right to do whatever he wants to. So they say the Lord is weird. They say the Lord ain't normal. He's weird.
Well, they say 1 + 1 ain't 2 no more.
Right.
1 + 1 is 8.
Right.
Weirdo.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
So, hey, man, you better come back and accept this word, man, because this word is able to actually save your soul.
Right.
The Lord wants people to come back.
Right. That's right. But on this side, we know only the elect is going to come back. So, you know, this is what you call being normal. All right? Fearing your high, busting out shot, that's us being normal again. All right?
That's right.
So with that, you know, hopefully, you know, the elect was edified. You know? All right? Before we close out, we'd like to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahusha, Ba'ashem, Kakudash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders, the great millstone who grew well and taught this 100% truth according to the Bible to us. And shalom to all the brothers out there that full conversion from His word and our righteousness and sincerity to the few sisters that listen also. To the back and say shalom.
Shalom. DTA. Abba.
DTA.
Say DTA.